The program is the Nigeria Kwenu Election Saturday Special. I am Nnamdi Obanya, of course, and I promised you an action-packed day full of, well, we don't know yet, but we're hoping very limited controversy and free-flowing elections. And Natalie, I was asking you, I need you to do something today. Predict what will happen today.
I think today, well, in Edo, I anticipate a lot of action, I anticipate a lot of news, I anticipate a lot of intrigues for some reason, but of course that's why the media is here to tell the story as it is. In Enugu, I expect that it's going to be rather peaceful. Yeah, rather peaceful, because you already have a lot of scanty movement. Of course, you know, the curfew that has been put in place, and of course the limitations of movement. But at the wards themselves, I really can't say, because you have some strong political parties that are there. You know, they all want to win, and as a result of that, you might see a lot of, let's say, as the day builds up, you might see a lot of build-up over there as well. As for Imo, for some reason, I do think it will be peaceful, simply because of the consensus candidacy plan.
But that's within one party? Within
one party, yes. But for some reason, according to our correspondents in Imo, people are not as hyped about the election as they are down here in Enugu. Perhaps they already have premeditated what would happen. They don't seem as excited about it, and they know the reason, and I don't think it's too far-fetched from the consensus issue, even if it's within one party.
We never take local government elections very seriously in this country, do we?
But it's different this time around. You know that there's money at stake. The
local government autonomy money. Everybody and their political godson is interested.
Exactly.
But before we go into newspapers, we have to welcome our guest, our very first guest this morning, our early morning, will I say cock crow at dawn guest. Mr. Ambrose Iboke is here with us. I want to read all your titles, but I prefer to just say social commentator, public analyst, a man who makes panoramic incursions into the relationship between the federating and the federated. Good morning, and good to have you here this morning.
I was trying to look back when I made that.
Good morning.
Good morning, Natalie. Good morning, Nnamdi.
Good to have you here. So, I mean, before we go to newspapers, let me get your own view on this. I know that a lot of newspapers are going to have us talking about Edo. So let's talk about Imo and Enugu local governorship elections. Like I was asking now, we never really take these elections seriously. Most people don't even know they are local government chairmen. Most people couldn't be bothered. And this is supposed to be the federating unit that is closest to the people. This is supposed to be the person you can hold rather. I remember a friend of mine telling me that if you want to improve schools very easily, and you want people to send their children to, you know, the primary schools in local government chairmen should be mandated to send their children there. You will see quality of education go up if all the councillors, local government chairmen have their children there. And it struck me how far away, even though they're meant to be the nearest, it seems as if it's easier to get hold of governors than to get hold of some local government chairmen. But do you think that maybe now with local government autonomy money and, you know, a more, will I say, politically active Nigerian electorate, we might have better turnout this time?
The first comment I want to make is a little bit away from what you asked me, which is the style at which we conduct election in Nigeria. We are still very primitive and very backward. You grind the economy of the state. You say there's no movement. It was just yesterday they brought out there's no movement. I thought, oh, finally, we can have movement even in a local government election. What is the big deal about a local government election? That you lock down the whole state. There's no movement from morning till evening. Businesses, do you know how much we'll be losing in businesses today?
The curfew from
the whole
6 a.m.
of market is all markets in Enugu State. As a state is closed because you are conducting local government election. I think we should move from this primordial level to we are always, you know, trying to brag about taking the state of digital disruption and all those things. And you cannot conduct a mere election without locking down your state, a local government election. Then we are nowhere. We are still primitive. And that happens all over the country. It's not only in Enugu. In Imo too, it will be locked down. In Edo, because they are doing state government election, it's locked down. I think Nigeria should learn how to move away. There should be a proper mechanism for running election while people are moving, even at national elections. In Ghana here, national elections, nobody does a lockdown. People just, you vote. So you should know where to go vote. And then, so if we are still afraid of security thuggery and all those things during a local government election, then we are still primordial. We are still maybe not better than the guys in the wild, you know. So we should learn how to be, if we say we are, you know, people of modernity, we are civilized, then we should behave civilized in election. Not locking down the whole state and asking everybody to stay in your home because we are doing casting ballots in wards and local governments. We should be above board when it comes to that. So I hope that the next local government election in Enugu State, we will not lock down the state because we are doing an election. They're coming down. Okay.
Just before you move away from that, you know how many Nigerians believe that subsidy was removed before the necessary infrastructure was put in place. Is it not the same if people are allowed to move around when you're not yet sure of your security architecture? So if during the next local government election they allow people to move around and then the security operatives are not able to control the crowd, wouldn't we be making what some have described as the same, I wouldn't like to say mistake, let me call it an omission.
The other one is a matter of policy, the other one is a matter of behavior. So if we say that we cannot behave well during election, then as well we can just equate ourselves with animals in the jungle. We should be able to have some level of decorum because we're intelligent beings, and so it's about there's no this local government election in Enugu, so there's no sensitization. We just see NCEC was just issuing this thing. They were able to there was no. I didn't hear any message about sensitization on how to behave. I didn't see voter education. I didn't see behavioral education. So these are things. NCEC was supposed to go around the city singing, telling, okay, tell you this is how you behave on election day. This is what you do. This don't allow yourself to be used and all those things. We didn't see all those things. So just see press releases talking about dates and all those. This is not how to run an election.
You know what? I completely agree with you.
NCEC should wake up. I mean, this is not how to work. And then you now come 24 hours to election. Since you are just waking up from sleep, the Commissioner of Police issues a statement and said the state is on lockdown. Who locks down the state for local government elections?
A commissioner of, not the governor, commissioner of police.
Yeah, security, of course, he works. He cannot do that alone now.
I know, but
the chief security officer of the state is the governor. So he works in concert. I don't think he just did it unilaterally.
No, I mean, even the messaging, we should hear that from our governor, not from a man in uniform.
So it will not even be at all. Why will you lock down the state because of local government election? You know, do you know how many a number of people that will die this month because they couldn't access emergencies? Do you know how many things that because there are no transport? If there's an emergency now and somebody who does not have a car, how does the person move? So people will die this month because you have a lockdown. People will not be able to access Medicare. People will not be able to do so many things. Talk about businesses that have lost this money in tens of hundreds of millions or even billions because we are doing local government elections.
Our lockdowns have never even stopped the rigging. In fact, in my opinion, I think if people are moving about and the road is not as clear for ballot box snatchers to enter their car and zoom off, they might not find it so easy to rig if people are all about and everywhere. Because imagine if a market was open and you wanted to snatch a ballot box out of that market, you wouldn't get to the gate. You won't get to the gate of the market.
But you know, I disagree somewhat. I disagree because I feel like if you have people moving around, don't forget you have the real observers and the, let me say, spectators, people that will just walk into the venue just to stand and watch. You know what's going on. So that's good, but not all of them may have positive intentions. So if it's like Dr. Iboke said, until we're ready to behave right.
No, but think about it. Many of us don't come out for elections. You look at election day, the whole place is scanty. You snatch a ballot box, you get away from the polling unit, there is not a single soul on the road. The police will even have trouble stopping you if you know your way. But imagine if you have a normal, because people will come out and do their business if you allow them, and everywhere is busy. Before you pick a ballot box at Enugu Sports Club,
I know there will be traffic
traffic
around the junction. You
but the thing is, you have to now ask the question: are we ready?
Are we less human or less intelligent than people in Ghana?
No, let's face it.
That's a good question. Nigerians are very intelligent people. Are you not saying that we are so incongruous? That we are so, below par.
We are Neanderthals.
Let's look at, you know why I disagree somewhat. Let's look at, you rightly pointed out NCEC and the attitude of NCEC. And I agreed with you on that. I said NCEC should have done more sensitization. You should be able to go around and make people know that this is under control and let them know, what is happening. So NCEC and the orientation agency, though that's far-fetched, let's focus on NCEC. Did they even live up to the expectations days leading up to the election? Yes, they had some press briefings and, releases were made known, but how much further did they go? How transparent were they? So if we are calling for free movement on election day, what role did the key players play in actually making sure that people are ready to have that kind of experience without being asked to stay at home?
But we, the office of the citizen,
yeah.
we as human beings, I believe in something called personal responsibility. We ourselves should know, you know, as a people. I mean, nobody needs a press release to tell us to wear clothes. Nobody needs a press release to tell us to do certain things. If you don't pay for your light will finish. And if you do legal connection, EEDC will show up. When there are consequences, people tend to behave. The problem in Nigeria, and I will ask, who knows of any ballot box snatcher? Do you remember the guy, I think it was even in this state, that was found with PVCs and still ended up in the federal house? But you know, back to my initial question, which was about Enugu and Imo LG elections. Do you think that this local government autonomy money and other factors, and maybe a more heightened political involvement and engagement by people since the obedient movement, if there's any remnant of that, will lead to a higher voter turnout?
Well, what I know will happen is this. The governors are jittery all over the country, especially governors who did not have elections. Even a state like Anambra that does not have local government election for God knows when. They are forced to have an election now for local governments because they'll be doing caretaker. Sometimes they even appoint the HPMs to run the place. From the time of Peter Obi did the same, Obiano did the same, Chancellor is doing the same. So they have never had local government election, and yet they call themselves Democrats. So it's strange. So some of them are being boxed into doing it. Enugu has had a semblance of at least we'll do elections in local government. So we'll give it to Enugu State. The tradition has been there. But some other states have not even done that, like Anambra I just mentioned. So then the governors are jittery because the access, the dynamics are about to change. Before, there's this local government and state joint accounts where the money accruable from the federal allocation to the state local government, and that are put in one account. Now that's because of the local government financial autonomy, that has gone. So you now have the local government chairman controlling their money. No more going to collect money from the state. So the governors across board are trying to make sure that they put loyalists. Of course, local government elections in Nigeria has always been that the ruling party in the states clears all the seats, and they leave maybe one or two where there are strong men, maybe the local government to have maybe less than 1% of the total number of local governments. So that's what happens in Nigeria, most local government. But in this case now, what I would see is that the local governors have tried to put all their party loyalists in all the states to contest for the local government election, knowing that the financial autonomy bill has been passed, and I think they had an agreement with the president that they should be given, I think, 3 months or 6 months leeway to be able to now the implementation. I think the implementation may start October or November. I'm not too sure now, but the implementation of the autonomy. So that's why they're all running to do the elections. Everybody wants to do election between now and October so that your boys will be in place before the thing. So that when they... But again, I'm foreseeing a situation where there will start being serious fights between godfathers and godsons. So like in each state now, you have a governor, not only, you know, there are no more appointees, because before we have like the government were almost appointees, and they were needing you, the governor, to give them money. But now, when he said, when you give a man power, especially financial power, that is where you test his loyalty. So the local government, the boys, they used to be loyal, but now, who knows whether they will be loyal, because now they are directly in control of the money. And you, the governor, when you request for the money, will they give you, or will they give you what you want or what you need? And also, the time now is for the people. The people will be holding the local government chairman more accountable now. Before, they used to have excuses that, oh, the governor did not release money, we don't have money. But now, the money comes directly to your account. So if your money, a local government chairman, the money comes to your account, and you go and give the governor the whole money, your people start questioning, where is our money? Where is our money? And so I'm believing that a lot of dynamics will change from now on. As the local government election level.
Before we look into our papers, let's just take our first report from the day. We have an update from Nsukka, where I don't know if anybody expected anything different, but it seems as if nothing is happening in Nsukka. I don't know if we can cross over and get our first report from Nsukka. The turnout looks decent. People are there already. but nothing is happening there. Security agencies, we can see a lot of bikes there, but nobody seems to be there with respect to NCEC or any of the people there. So this is live from Nsukka, and well, let's hope that sooner or later some people will, well, at least we hope some from NCEC will come. But were you expecting the people to be there already by this time?
Well, that depends on the time the NCEC gave them time. What time was voter support? What time is accreditation supposed to start? If accreditation is supposed to start by 8 or 9 or 6 or 7, so that will, determine the timing that will make people come out. So if, and again, that also determine, most of these things done in clusters and villages. So the people will be calling themselves to say, oh,
but the people, you saw the crowd, the people are there.
The people are
it's
there.
NCEC that is not there.
NCEC informed them that accreditation will start at 8 a.m.
So if accreditation starts by 8 a.m. and 9 to 9.
You see the amount of bikes, the amount of people.
It tells you that the people are
even
ready.
the police are there.
The people are ready.
NCEC is not there.
Oh, NCEC is preparing.
Preparing.
Okay. The D-Day.
Okay. I hope you won't give us a press release. Let's go straight to our papers. Let's start with the Saturday Vanguard. This is first of looking at today, and a major headline there: Edo Guba, who succeeds Obaseki, Ighodalo, Akpata, Okwebelo in royal battle. How election will be won and lost. Do or die race. All eyes on INEC police. 17 factors that may jeopardize today's election. Edo, the past, present, and potential intrigues. How INEC can rescue its battered image. 1 million naira reward to 26 military men who killed terror kingpin. I deserve death, but I beg for a second chance. Teenager admits after killing church mates. Moving on from the Saturday Vanguard, straight to the Saturday Times, and the major headline there. Edo Guba intrigues as Dennis Osadebe house awaits new landlord. Massive deployment of security officers scares voters. Tinubu urges civility during exercise. Nigerians grow wary of hospitals as cases of medical mistakes soar. Police arrest 2 women for sale of newborn twins. CBN refutes reinstatement of cyber security levy. Kaduna police nab man with 20 fabricated AK-47 rifles. And on to the Guardian weekend. Edo decides anxiety in Ighodalo, Okwebolo, Akpata's camps as voters cast ballots. Clash of godfathers over power shift in Edo. How counterfeit drugs fuel healthcare nightmare for Nigerians. Southwest politicians lip service to development. And finally, from the Saturday Telegraph, Tinubu tells parties, supporters, respect processes, people's will in Edo polls, as 2.2 million voters determine Ighodalo, Okwebolo, Akpata, others fate today. Election golden opportunity for INEC to redeem image, group tells Yakubu. CSO expresses concern over security situation, likely vote buying. How worsening economic conditions trigger mental health crisis. Shore, I knew I was slated for arrest by DSS, but had to come home. Says I never expected any positive impact from Tinubu. CBN, we've not reintroduced cybersecurity levy. NNPC Limited moves to revive $29.8 million brass OK LNG projects. Nigeria, others benefit from $90 billion World Bank electricity funds. FG Labour sign MOU on salaries adjustments. FG set to liquidate outstanding pension liability. That's according to the DG of PENCOM. Operators pay out 1.2 trillion naira for programmed withdrawal annuity. Rivers, court dismisses suit seeking to replace 27 pro-Wike lawmakers. Opposition coalition legislators reject judgment, vow to appeal.
All right, thank you, Nnamdi. And beginning with The Nation, tension, fear, spin, counter-accusations herald Edo poll. Tinubu sues for peace, civility. Police and show of force, military deployed for security. Wreck to critics. Tell me what I have done wrong. Analysis, battle of two godfathers. Federal government backdates new minimum wage implementation to July 29th. Rivers crisis, court dismisses suits to replace 27 pro-Wike lawmakers. I came to work, not look for money, Tinubu tells ex-NAS presiding officers. Cybersecurity levy suspension stands, says CBN. Motunde, many big names wanted me to warm their beds for roles. Moving on to Saturday Tribune, IGP locks down Edo as governorship poll holds today. Tinubu Jonathan call for peace. Accord party candidate withdraws, running mate takes over. New minimum wage may take effect from July 29th. Tinubu believes he knows it all. He takes no advice. Secular Road, we won't touch houses in densely populated areas, said by the Oyo government. And moving on to Saturday Punch, Edo poll, Igodalo, Opebolo, Apata battle for 2.2 million votes today. IG orders movement restriction. PDP raises the alarm over hijack. Starving Ogun leprosy community cries for help as robbers loot homes. Tinubu's minister under fire for alleged link with bandits. I cried when teacher labeled me disabled. Disabled money waster. Graduate with cerebral palsy. Labor kicks as federal government backdates minimum wage payment to July. I am a chosen. Khan fumes over exam malpractice testimony. Those mocking our testimonies ignorant, says Church. And on Weekend Trust, D-Day for Edo, threats of violence intra-party crisis may shape outcome. We will accept results if PDP, APC, LP give conditions. Respect voters' will, Tinubu tells politicians. INEC police upbeat, residents express mixed reactions. Dati calls Murik to order. Bello, Abdul Salami, Danjuma, Tinubu in the news. Barrow hails Tinubu for conversion of FCE's Kano Zaria to universities of education. 28 students killed, 78 kidnapped in 20 months.
So, I mean, I heard it from Natalie. I don't know if it was the Punch or Ishmael said the FG police locks down Edo.
Yes, this was from Saturday Tribune. IGP locks down Edo.
I mean, then we now see on the front page of the Vanguard, do or die race, all eyes on INEC police. So, I mean, this is what is making me laugh. On the Saturday Times, you see massive deployment of security officers scares voters. On The Guardian is anxiety in Igodalo, Okwebolo, Akpata's camps. CSO expresses concern over security situation, likely vote buying. That's from the Saturday Telegraph. So we're talking about the Nigerian citizens' behavior, you know, and will I say level of evolution during elections. And we're seeing a language that seems more like a Russia-Ukraine situation than an election situation. Now, even though all the papers just ignored Imo and Enugu, I have to bring them back into the conversation because it was something I noticed early this morning that nobody was talking about Imo and Enugu local government elections. So is it that even in the media and even in the sphere of public discourse, we don't rate local government elections? I think we are responsible for the apathy, even with governance at that level. But my question is it time we said maybe rethinking the security architecture around elections? Because the show of force hasn't deterred would-be riggers. In fact, we've seen security agents escort some of them to polling units, or at least people dressed as them in vehicles like theirs escort people to polling booths. But what's your opinion on this language that on the morning of election, all we're hearing is lockdown, security, police, anxiety, do or die?
Well, that demonstrates the kind of people we are. When we were reading those headlines, I remember one book written by George Orwell, Animal Farm. And I think that's just the scenario being painted by most of the newspapers.
So which animals are more equal than others
boxer
here?
And all those things. You know,
Napoleon
and all those things. What we have is people who have not transcended. We all dress well. Some of these people causing this violence went to universities in, across outside the world. I mean, outside the country. They went to good schools overseas. They see how things are run there. They travel a lot. But they come back here. It seems what happens that when you travel to Europe, United States, all these people, when they reach there, they from the airport, they remove that DNA, the clothes of Nigeria, drop it at the airport, and then enter those countries and behave well. All our political leaders, when they go to Europe, they enter buses, they behave well, they do things, they stand online when they want to. They don't say, "Do you know who I am?" They do all those things. Then something happens. Once they enter the plane back to Nigeria, immediately it's touching down, they pick up the Nigerian Jaguda, as you say, wear it on again, and come out and then start walking shoulder high at the airport. And then telling customs cannot check you, immigration cannot check you above board. Do you know who I am? So we wear off those animalistic instincts and drop civilization. When we go to Europe, we wear civilization. When we come back, we drop them. And that is what happens. And you see people who are similarly educated talking, and these are opinion leaders. Our opinion leaders see election as war. Our political class, elite class, see it as a do or die affair. You know, a president in this country before has said that the election is do or die. So if that is coming from that level, so what will your political party do? What will the boys, the youths that are looking up to you, that are, the nucleus of the party, what would they do? So it's about ballot box. In fact, it's surprising that 25 years down the line, with the introduction of beavers, introduction of card reader, with the introduction of technology, we have not been able to still move ahead. We are still moving in circles. But we are not able to move ahead. So ballot, you actually, it's still fanciful to start ballot boxes.
But we had the, statements quoted to INEC in Edo saying that if there is no issue, results will be reported electronically. The caveat was there, if there are no issues.
Well, of course, what they do, like what they did in the presidential election last year, is that they can always create reasons why there will not be, why there should not be transmission of results. I remember, but we are still moving, but we are moving slowly. I remember 2003 elections and all those things. You see, I covered it also as a journalist with NTA, that's AM Express. I saw things happening in this thing where the register was the accreditation, even the voter register, everything was in a manual. Your voter's card, the voter card that looks like a laminated ID card, and all those things. So people could go to a business center and produce voter's card. But I think we have moved beyond that point. And why is ballot box snatched? That time, sometimes you don't even have to agree in the electoral because people are somewhere writing the results.
Port Harcourt hotels. The hotels in Port Harcourt. At least I covered that in my own time.
Well, they were writing results. So you even have less friction at the polling booth. You will just be doing election. We'll do what we want to do, and then they do these things. But now, because of the card reader, the accreditation, going through technology, and some of these things, you will know that the onus now lies on INEC to do the right thing because INEC has been found one thing. Because you see number of accredited voters being less than number of voting. disclosed.
Yes.
So you can have like 1.5 million accredited voters. Then you start having 1.8 million
votes to count.
How does that come? Where was it manufactured from? And I think we still see these things. And when they are collating results and party agents raise objection, INEC will say no, that the process must be completed first. Who told INEC that? So INEC is the biggest problem we're having in election in this country, and they are supposed to be those. It's supposed to be INEC that is making sure that we have credible election. Because at that point where those discrepancies are being noted, INEC is supposed to halt the collation and ensure that the right things. How can you have you as INEC accredited voters of 1.6 million? Then all of a sudden we have election votes 2.1 million, and you say the process should continue. So these are the problems. And when people get away with that, then toggery, do or die, this kind of language we hear, because it's about, we heard our sitting president in a video last year before the election that if you snatch and run with it.
Snatches, grab it, run
with it. So if that's it, and then you go to court, and then the court, I was in a burial yesterday, and the bishop of Catholic Bishop of Soka Diocese was, alluding to that kind of thing that we were talking to some judges seated there. He said we have some judges who institute those who people did not vote for into political power. And that is what we see in Nigeria. So when you go to court, then a few men, maybe 5 men, judges now decide the fate of millions of people. So why we still do it in primitive manner, the democracies will do it in a very organized and civil manner. In the American system, it's called the Electoral College.
All right.
You have your voting, all the crowd will vote. There are some few men sit somewhere and tell you that it's Electoral College, that it is the person that wins in the Electoral College that wins the election.
Speaking about primitivity, there are reports from Aninri local government area of Enugu State that the PDP ward chairman was seen chasing other party agents, asking them to leave the distribution center with his aide shooting in the air. And according to this report, the Labour Party candidate was brutalized. Let's take a moment to look at how that took place, and then we'll return. This according to an eyewitness. Take a look.
Program is Nigeria Queen election Saturday. We do apologize for some technical hitches, but we will show you that video from Anirin where it's reported that a member of the PDP and his security shooting in the air were chasing people away, and there was some brutalization of a Labour Party candidate. We'll have that for you. But while we're waiting to clear up that technical issue, let me ask this question. I mean, this was just going to buttress our do or die scenario we're talking about. You mentioned judges instituting people who people did not vote for, which they were, chastised by Bishop of Nsukka Diocese. But let's look at the other side of the judges, where the lack of consequence has led to impunity. I mentioned earlier that we are yet to see public trial and conviction of those who commit electoral offenses. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. We've covered elections for years. I mean, my first proper coverage was 2003, and my first independent coverage where I was sent out alone was 2007. And in all that time, I have seen police, army, all sorts of security agencies handcuff, round up, sometimes even rough up these boys. Before collation that day, those boys will be back on the streets like nothing happened. So how do we curb this if we can't even get the judiciary and the security forces to do their parts?
Well, I think the judiciary waits. It's always the last process of the election, because when you go to the judiciary, that means you are not being able to resolve.
I mean, even for conviction of criminals.
That's what I'm saying. At that level, you are not being able to election criminals. We are not being able to even resolve it at the baseline level. So you, as a political party, are not being able to resolve. You, as an electoral empire, you are not able to be transparent. So you transfer this burden to the judiciary, who always acts not on eyewitness reports, not on all these things, but they act always with documentation and exhibits and all those things. So sometimes, if the judiciary does not even receive the correct thing from the electoral body like INEC, you start having issues with credibility. It is what the INEC gives to the judiciary will use to work, because they are not the electoral empires. So like this issue of voting, if INEC says we have accredited 2 million voters, and at the end of the day they went ahead to announce 2.5 million voters, and they present that evidence to INEC and say this is our result to the courts, what will the courts do? So sometimes the court is also tied down. We'll also give it to them that they are not the people who run the election. Okay, and sometimes they are also limited by the evidences provided, and that's why some lawyers have said that INEC should not more be party to suits when it is filed in court to electoral matters. INEC should not join themselves and say we align with our results. Then they come to court to defend their results. So some people are arguing that makes INEC already partisan, because if you declare a result, and even if the result is wrong, what INEC will be giving to the court is to prove how right they are, rather than giving the evidence of the process. And that's why they say remove yourself from the process. Let the two parties argue and present evidence before the judge. I think also those are the reforms we are going to look at. But we are saying that the biggest problem are not the judges. The biggest problem are the people. For example, the report you got this morning, Aneri, is the judge.
We even have to clear that up. Apparently, there was a mistake in the communication. It actually happened in Edo at Oredo. Okay, Aneri is actually peaceful. Okay. I was actually surprised.
Aneri, I was what is
so I am now less surprised knowing that it is Edo State.
In Enugu, for example, yes. I mean, Enugu is almost a one-party state, basically. So it has been like that since 1999. So it was even in this last election, last year, that upset was caused because of the P2B factor, the Labour Party incursion. But again, PDP is becoming very too comfortable, and I hope that they will not be too comfortable also today, because actually I would like to see some upsets. If that can happen, it enriches our democracy. It makes it more good. For example, look at the ruling party, how they set up. Some states, for example, even this Edo State, for example, who knew Labour Party? Well, I mean, Edo was very comfortable, but they also have their mix. From 1999 to 2007, they had PDP, and then they became very comfortable, thinking that nothing will happen. And then the next thing that happened was that APC took over. Yeah. APC did it, handed over, and they became too comfortable. And were trying to have issues with the incumbents, and then it switched gear, and then they went back to PDP. And then so Edo has been balancing act. I wish many other states can be that, because that will make all the political actors sit up, and that is why Edo election is hot. Yes. Because the APC has brought down their federal might down. The PDP is using their incumbent factor. the Labour Party is threatening to dislodge anybody. So that is the issues with Edo. And Edo is a rich, platform for political activities. And I wish that the scenario in Edo could also play out in other states. That would be very, very healthy for our democracy. Definitely. But there are some states that are strongly, staunchly party-based people, and Enugu is one of them.
All right, let's quickly look at the national scene. Now, Tinubu believes he knows it all. This is from Saturday Tribune. Tinubu believes he knows it all. He takes no advice. And this is a former member of the Senate speaking. Do you believe, or do you support what she says, that Tinubu believes he knows it all and takes no advice? She is not even interested in interacting with him any further.
Yeah, that one is strange to me because I'm a Lagosian in terms of by residence. I stayed in Lagos for more than 25 years. And I got to Lagos when the military was still government, and then just up to like 3-4 years ago, I was still in Lagos. So I would say that that's strange, probably because the Tinubu we knew in Lagos was not like that. If anything, he's a man that always has his people around him. He always has this sketching cabinet. In fact, there's a group in Lagos, governance advisory, I think, council or something that So, but it's strange. The Tinubu in Lagos is not what this man is describing. So I don't know whether he has changed, but if there's anything, the man is a very brilliant man, a very intelligent man. You can't take that away from him, even if you don't like him. And then he has his voice.
But the person who is saying this,
maybe is his personal issue.
It's his embattled first governor. That is what Deputy Governor of Lagos, Bokno Akirele. She is the one that is saying he doesn't take advice. And she was his deputy governor in 1999.
Well, I was there, and I know Akirele personally. We have had some sessions together in the past. Akirele is also a very stubborn person. Mrs. Bokno Akirele is a very, very stubborn person. And Tinubu was seen as an outsider in the political arrangement that brought them in. But it was the Afenifere, the concept. Tinubu was coming from the activism side.
From Nadeko
and the rest. But no, the Afenifere was even about what Tinubu had to do was to upstage the Afenifere and took charge of the structures. And, I think Bokno was loyal to the Afenifere structure. And Tinubu wanted to have somebody. I think Tinubu was able to outsmart all of them politically. And instituted his own deputy, Femi Pedro.
Who he still removed.
And Femi Pedro was also still wanted to be governor. I think that was what's caused the problem. Yes. He said, where are you coming? I picked you from somewhere, you want to be governor. So when he met Fashola, well, there was not clear that Fashola was gone, who's also an outsider anyway. And then people like Jimmy Agbaje, Femi Pedro, and some other people who felt that they are the political people that should be considered, went away from the
Adiku Bakari.
But basically all of them are back to Tinubu's fold, basically almost all of them. So this is a personal experience. But a lot of people will tell you that even Tinubu, when he was governor, even has consultations with ward chairman and the rest. His place is a beehive of, in the body law, was a beehive of political activities. And I lived in Surulere for a very long time, and I know some political actors in Surulere who could have access. You can, as a ward people, you could go to Bodilon to see him, and they will grant you audience, and then they will have discussions. So, unless he has over the years, or people change, so unless that has happened. But if Mrs. Bokno was talking about the Tinubu, she was deputy governor too, and then there are issues in the past. I think those are really personal issues that she had with her boss. And, she had it.
I mean, and that's because it's because, like you talked about the timeline, and I think if we ask Femi Pedro, Adiku Bakari, then a lot of them who left the party, they might say the same thing.
No, I think it's just he has smarted them. I think that's just what I know.
But if you flip the script, I think
he has smarted them. Because they became too comfortable. They handed it over to him because people like Fusho Wule were there. Some other real party people of AG were there. And, he came in. And then they handed over the structure to him. And then he did what he had to do.
He's a
politician, and he has smarted them all. And And at the end of the day, you will give it to him. Most of those people that fought him, they're all back. Most of them are back. I guess at the point. So that is to show his own political. Like, if he's ITK, as we said downtown, is I don't know kind of person. Well, he would not have been able to accommodate all those people back, into his political fold, and that is has to go. So I think when these politicians talk, we need to start sieving it, because she also was a politician. She had her own vested interest, and it couldn't go through, and they never had good relationship as deputy, and so it was a turbulent one. And because of that, I think Tinubu will shield her out, and we don't want to take any advice from her, because you'll be looking at it from the prism of this woman wants to set me up or something. So, so these are the way they reason up there.
I mean, we'll go on a very, very, very short break. Just take the very, very short news headlines. When we come back, hopefully we'll have that report from Oredo in Edo State as well. And well, there are still one or two headlines, particularly this one I've seen, which we have to talk about, which is clash of godfathers in Edo State, because it seems as if, like everywhere else in Nigeria, after these 2023 elections, may not have brought a full shift politically, but it has brought a whole new set of godfathers, or at least a whole new set of godfathers are being created. And we're talking about all that right after this break. The Fair Morning Show, Nigeria Kwenu Election Day Special. It's a mouthful. We'll be right back after this break.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections, as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections, as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17.
The program is still Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday on Afia 254 DSTV and of course GoTV 17. And again, I apologize for the second time in 20 minutes. We were right the first time. There was a mix-up in communication from the control room, and we do take apologies for that. The violence is not in Edo State. It's actually here in Enugu State at Aniri, and we'll be getting to that video. But before we get there, I was asking a question before we left, which was how this election has thrown up a whole new class of godfathers. We've seen what happened in Edo. It seems as if when people oust a godfather, they become godfathers. In Edo State, we saw Adams Oshomole oust the Igbenedion dynasty by truncating the election very early of Professor Osumbo, who was the heir apparent to Lucky Igbenedion. And when he came in, he became a godfather of his own, brought in Governor Obaseki. When Obaseki didn't seem to be towing the line, brought Pastor Eze Yamu. Obaseki was able to outsmart his erstwhile, and now you have Obaseki as a godfather in the state. Now the question is, he's battling his own godfather, who has taken his deputy governor, Philip Shaibu. Now, the question is, would this godfather, would one of them come out on top? Is Obaseki the godfather in waiting, or will Adams Oshomole cement himself as godfather, or will Olubide Akpata just quietly sneak by the fight and pick the mandates while the two are fighting? You know, we've seen that Enugu, even though people say it's a one-party state, but you can see the transition from the the Enugu doesn't really have godfathers, but they have like political eras. So you had the Wobodo era, the Ebano era, and even though people will say, oh, but Governor Peter Mba was part of the Ebano era, it seems as if there are not too many of those people in his government, as if there's a shift. Does Enugu have a new godfather? You know, the only state that seems to be having a proper bloodline of godfatherism might be Delta, which has not broken rank.
And Lagos.
And Lagos. Oh, Lagos is even more glaring than Delta.
Yes.
They haven't had broken bloodlines. The case of usurping your, benefactor, we saw it in Rivers. Amechi or upstaging Odili, who tried to replace him with Tennessee Umeha. Then we saw Wike upstage Amechi, and now we're seeing Fubara go against Wike. So it seems as if the last elections have brought another era of, will I say, godfathers. Do you think that this is the case, and is it good for Nigeria? Or is it that Nigerians have finally demystified godfathers, and maybe we don't have godfatherism in politics anymore?
Well, there's godfatherism in politics everywhere in the world. Well, it's how it is played that now is the difference. In America, in fact, godfatherism is more entrenched in America. If you are not brought by the establishment, by the guys who own America, you are not going anywhere. And that is why people like Hillary Clinton won the election in the popular votes and was not able to win the election in the electoral college. So there are people, there's a Igbo adage that says that that some people own the land. And these people are very powerful everywhere. But it is the kind of politics we play that now differs. Now, in Nigeria, every state has its own peculiarity. Every state has its own peculiarity. For example, Edo, the Edo you mentioned, Nnamdi, the Edo you mentioned that it was not that, it was Osumbo that went against the Igbenedions. And the Igbenedions now allowed, backed up Oshomole at the electoral tribunal by bringing out some sensitive materials and the rest, back to Oshomole to win that election, to win at the tribunal, and left to Osumbo in the win. And, it has been there. So I think sometimes it is the level or how far the godfather wants to go in the control that makes them have friction. In Enugu, in Lagos, it is given that the de facto godfather is Abola Ahmed Tinubu over the years, and he has been able to curate those things and put his structures in place. Then when it comes to Edo people have been clear that it's the governors that have been dictating until this current one, who has so much against him. Obaseki has so much against him right now going. First of all, he left the ruling party. The ruling party at the center is not comfortable with that, so they're fighting tooth and nail. He has a very dogged opposition in Oshomole. Not even the candidate of the party is Oshomole is fighting against. Then he also have a formidable thing from Akpata. Akpata is formidable labor, fine. He will try his best, but again, he's from the Edo side, where
Edo South,
where the
Central
Obaseki is from the same place with Obaseki.
Yes.
So they cannot allow that to happen in Edo State for 16 years. So APC's candidate is not from there. I think it's from the Ishan side.
Yeah, APC and PDP both have their.
Ishan.
They are both Ishan people.
Would they say they have not really tested power for the past 25 years?
Osumbo was
it has been
just Osumbo, and it was brief.
So Osumbo was they can't count down 11 months. So so that was it. So already they are disadvantaged. The Labour Party is already disadvantaged in those calculations. Then when you come to Enugu, Enugu has a godfather whose boys or political mentees, I would say, have been in power since 1995, which is the president of Chimaro Kenaman. The Ebano family has been ruling the state since 1999. The political family of Ebano has been ruling the state. So we will say, but at which extent does he really want to interfere? And that is also why we are created, seasonal godfathers over the years, and who have become formidable stakeholders, the past governors. So I think there's an unwritten code in Enugu where you allow the incumbents have his way. I think I think it's mutual respect. That is the trend, the pattern over the years. When he finished, when Sullivan took over, he didn't overduly assert himself and try to control what was up. I think the man, even they ever had a battle which saw him going to EFCC and losing on. When Sullivan was also leaving, he was instrumental.
He was the most Pontius Pilate.
Having his own person. When the guy was also leaving, it was so. I think there's an origin code where you in Enugu State where they allow the incumbent to have the control, and I think it has worked well, and that has reduced a lot of rancor in Enugu State. I think that is what is. But overall, they have political godfathers. They have the stakeholders who each governor still defers to, because he was their political father in a way. Now, but that has worked well, over the years. But in some states like Rivers, it's not like that. The incumbent wants to be assertive, and because the godfathers somehow don't respect themselves. They want to have over. Or like Enugu State, where you allow the governor to be in charge. In the Rivers, the past governor want to control the incumbent. And even, look at what happened to Subara. Even your chief of staff was appointed by, 29, out of only 3 members from the House of Assembly. Commissioners, only a handful were appointed by the governor. So it doesn't happen in a state like Enugu. And that is why Rivers is always having frictions and crises. Odili wanted to do this. He wanted to install his cousin, Celestine Omehe. When that didn't work out, this guy came, routed him out, and then Wike was there, came his own, routed Amechi out, and then he now put his own godson and wants to control him fully. And the man is resisting, and that is what is causing the problem. Now, just this week, I heard that he has told all the local government chairmen that want to contest election to move over to a party called APP. That seems to be the governor of Rivers State. Because also during the week we heard in the news that the party structure by the National Working Committee of the PDP has added the party structure in the state to Wike. So maybe that is why the governor said, okay, all the governors, all the local government contest another political party. Maybe the one that has control. So Rivers, in the local government, we are going to see new scenarios. So back to the root of your question. New godfathers are being created. New power brokers are being created. New, will I say influencers, political influencers are being created. And those are the things that have happened in every cycle of election. It does happen.
Thank you so much. Very, very insightful. And we'll be here all day covering. We'll be seeing if perhaps we will know which godfather can cement himself today. I mean, Imo seems to be the only place where we are sure, well, not sure, but where it seems as if the people there, from interviews we've had, feel as if it's a foregone conclusion. But we'll be watching to see. Thank you so much, Ambrose Iboke. Let me add more titles. Economic political and social surgeon, information interceptor, encoder and decoder, and social structure analyzer.
That's what you call a hype man.
I don't have my DJ Natalie. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday. We'll be right back after this very short break.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
The program is still Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday. I'm still here, Nnamdi Obaya. Natalie Uku is still here, and of course we're talking about everything in Edo, Imo and Enugu. And
I'm still surprised that we didn't see any of the Enugu stories or Imo stories on the front pages of our papers.
I'm still looking at my I'm still looking at my papers here, wondering like
how didn't the local government
is it that I missed it? Because what happened? I mean,
maybe the inner pages. Maybe if we actually flip through the pages, we'll find. But then I think those stories should have made the front pages. But yes, I think Edo is quite prominent right now, so I guess we can understand that.
I mean, it is quite prominent. And we're going to talk about the Enugu elections. We have a special guest joining us. But before we introduce him, we need to show this video of reported violence at Aniri, and we'll be talking about it with our guests and other matters arising on the Enugu State local government elections once we come back.
EDP je gbe na chuada anyị na ihe a mere n'aka ekwe nke ukwu ebe asọ dọchara kwa m ewepụ n'ọtọ na turu EDP je gbe na chuada anyị na ihe a mere n'aka bolu ka ha chọ ka ha were like that bolu na anyị kwesịrị ịba ebe a no one collect his phone no one collect his phone ndị banyo ha unu akọtagakwa okwu oleba 15 nọ unu kọtakwala okwu unu kọtakwa mbeleji aba aka imeye unu kọta mbeleji aba ndị na-enwetụrụ 1 by 1 ndị banyo ha ndị na-enwetụrụ 1 by 1 unu kọtagwa 15 mbụ unu pụtile ebe a ya bụ na asa na-eme election ka ha kansụl anya phone ka ha chọ ka ha were like that phone na anyị kwesịrị ịba ebe a no one collect his phone no one collect his phone ndị banyo.
All right, and right now joining us, we have the convener, Office of the Citizen, Enugu State, Onyebuchi Iboke. Good morning, good to have you on this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I mean, we've been looking forward to these local government elections. We knew that the autonomy money would be a big factor in how, governors and parties reacted to who gets selected or elected to be the candidate for each party and how the elections will go. But looking at that footage from Aniri, where it's purported that a member of the PDP, along with his security aide, was chasing people away and a Labour candidate got injured. Is this a forbearing on what we should expect from the Enugu LGA elections?
Good morning once more. The issue is that, personally, I'm not one of these fan of celebrating little things government do. There is this pretense, there's this issue of reasonable pretense in the state currently with what people will say the government is working. Well, I have my reservations. Governance is should be a holistic approach. You can't be saying you are doing infrastructure when the real sense of democracy is not really promoted. Right from the selection of candidates, party primaries, personally, I am not satisfied with the entire process, especially what happened in parties like PDP in Enugu State. It's not similar to Enugu State, but if the governor feels that he's, let me use his exact word, that he's practicing destructive governance, some people like me, probably people like you, the enlightened people will always feel that he's going to do everything different, not only when he feels it suits him. This election is a way of test running the kind of leader he is. Is he a Democrat or just he's pretending to be a Democrat? Looking at, let me take you back a little about his background in politics or in a political journey. People still see him as somebody that have a strong alliance with the Ebano political dynasty. And Ebano political dynasty in our history, because it's been a while we saw violence in our electoral process. In as much as I have my reservations or my differences with the former governor, that is Governor Ugwai, we may say he didn't do well in terms of infrastructure and other certain things. But one thing you must not take away from him is that he didn't allow so much violence in our electoral process. So we still give it to him. Now, the body language of the governor shows that he has this element of dictatorship, because even the party primaries, we knew he anointed those guys to go and run for the elections. Now, what is happening in Aniri is highly expected, because everybody knows that the governor have not even come out openly to say the election is going to be very fair, very free, and credible. He has not come out to do that publicly, so he didn't guarantee any safety. And if you look back at what a band of family used to represent, you find out that political violence is one of their instrumentality of getting to power. So I'm not surprised that we are seeing this happening. And just like the consensus and fear, many people are not going to come out today because of this perceived undemocratic behavior from the government. Let me not even go into the ESEC, because we are just talking about the violence we saw in Aniri. Is condemnable and is undemocratic. It pains people like me, because why would the governor allow the Aniri people to make their choice without interference? Is it a big deal? And we are talking about democracy. Let us stop deceiving ourselves in this country. If we don't want to practice democracy, we define what we intend to practice. Democracy, people should have that freedom, to exercise their franchise. People have that freedom to participate. Democracy is all about participation. It's government of the people, by the people, and for the people. They didn't say it's government of the governor or his agents. You should just have that one in mind. You can't pretend to be a nice man doing this and that. And when it comes to the rating that promotes democracy, he's trying to either be stubborn about it or be personal about it. He should be fair. If you want to be fair, be fair. You shouldn't be choosing things that favors you. That is it for now.
All right. So, you mentioned something which was the selection process of the candidates, and you also mentioned the governor did not guarantee the election will be free and fair. The governor is meant to allow NCEC, which is meant to be an independent electoral commission, to do that along with the security agencies. You know, guaranteeing the safety of lives and property during an election is the issue for the security agencies. And NCEC, as an independent electoral body, if they are, is meant to have been the one to come out. Now, I mean, at this point, we'll still have to find out from the police. This is something that we're just bringing out now. If anybody has been arrested, we are trying to get across to the police PPRO now to know if anybody has been arrested. We'll have that update. But do you think that the government is to blame for this kind of violence? Can we for certain be...
I'm coming. Who does the NSEC chairman in the state report to?
Unfortunately, in Nigeria, and I think in direct violation of our laws, the state and federal electoral commissioners report to the executives at federal and state level, which is wrong. There should be an independent electoral commission. So I agree with you that at state and federal level, the president and the governors have corrupted the framework. I agree 100%. I was mindful of the choice of my own. I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing that at federal and state level they are corrupted.
If you are talking about the framework is faulty, which everybody knows.
Yes.
The framework of our independent, both at the national and at the state, is faulty. The foundation is faulty. But now I was trying to go towards individual. If I happens to be the governor, for the fact that I preach good governance, even before I get to power, for the fact people know me with some certain kind of values, there are things I will do intentionally. Now I'm not going to look at banking on the poor foundation or framework of our electoral system to now say no. If the governor, just like what a good president will always do, we could remember Goodluck Jonathan then. What did Goodluck Jonathan say? Despite not being the INEC chairman, he said that his ambition doesn't want the blood of any Nigerian. That had a way of, bringing peace. It has a way of bringing stability in that outing. When even he lost the election to Buhari, as a sitting president, we are not even talking about governor, he was able to do something. He was able, even when Orubebe and their likes was trying to, make him either not accept the outcome of the election, he gently placed a call to Buhari, and the thing calmed down nerves and saved a whole lot of situation in that election. What am I trying to say? It's all about the body language of the person in power. And I have my concerns that even if the electoral template or the design is faulty, it takes a governor who is a Democrat to promote the tenets of democracy, like those things that drives democracy, allowing people, creating safe environment. Imagine that the governor comes out to address the state, maybe through a live media chat, and say this election, I would want the citizens to come out en masse, because he's the #1 citizen of the state. He's the chief security officer of the state. You are talking about he's the chief security officer of the state. Is it when he favors them, they will begin to say, I'm the chief security officer of the state? Now we want him to perform. He would have just come and said, this election, as the governor, I'm going to guarantee the safety of every party. We are going to allow every party to we are going to be neutral in terms of allowing the NSEC to do their job. These words are not going to just be ordinary. People is going to resonate with the people. People will even actively want to come out and participate. But for him to keep quiet, and how many months, how old is even the NSEC chairman in the state? How many trainings? What is the capacity? Have he handled any election? What is the background like? So these are the things people like us know. So many are not going to come out, not that they don't want to come out, but they just felt that the election is going to either be marred by irregularities or violent, as we can see. And he keeping quiet. He don't just keep quiet. As a governor, he's supposed to have addressed or made his position clear, then issuing instruction to NSEC and also to the security agencies to ensure that the election is free, fair, and credible. It will have gone a long way. For him to keep quiet, keeping quiet in the face of uncertainty means you are in support of whatever that goes wrong.
Iboke, I wouldn't like us to make conclusions that we cannot confirm. I mean, I would like us to attack the issue. Let's attack the attitude of INEC to the situation and not the level of qualification. Dr. Iboke, I have to stop you there because just a second, Mr. Iboke, just a second. While we're talking about NCEC, let's take a moment to look at what NCEC said prior to this election, and then we'll come back and see if they are meeting up with these expectations as we told other polling units. Along with you, Mr. Iboke, please stay with us. Let's hear from the NCEC chairman, Prof. Chris Ungu. Take a look.
And we have briefed ourselves and strategized, and we are ready to sound this note of warning. The security forces are behind us. They are working in tandem with us. They are giving us enough security to ensure a free, fair, and peaceful election. Anybody that is harboring the idea of causing crisis in any point of election, any point of election center, should have himself or herself to blame. We are sorry for that person because we are definitely going to deal decisively with that person. Please allow us to do our election free and fair, hitch-free from any form of crisis. We will not tolerate any disturbances whatsoever. We want to assure you that we are going to...
Well, Mr. Iboke, you heard the NCEC chairman there saying that, you know, they will not tolerate any crisis. What you requested for, which is that it will be free and perpetrators will be dealt with, was said by NCEC. So, is the issue now that the governor himself did not say it, because we've heard it there from the NCEC chairman. And secondly, we did hear from NCEC till just before the election in terms of press releases and all that. How would you rate NCEC's preparation? Because even in the media, a lot of information came very, very late about information about the elections, and I think it was less than 48 hours, maybe even 24, when the police declared there will be no movement. So, my two questions. One, is it satisfactory that the NCEC president chairman has said what you asked for? And secondly, do they look sound, and has their body language showed a body that is ready for this election?
Well, let me, because I know the sensitivity of being on a live program. I'm not this kind of guest that will always want to undermine the government. I am conscious of that. What I was just trying to do is to inspire the government. The whole essence is to make the governor to step up and ensure that this election gets its best. That is my objective. So, having said that, NCEC is saying he's just making a statement. The same way we are making statements. This is the work of the media. The NCEC is meant to deliver and perform the work. I'm not so much enticed with the way people government institutions will come and be making excuses or be making promises. We have gone beyond promises. The way they managed even communication in this whole pre-election process was poor. Even the adjustment of the timetable, the publicity was poor. But it's just like what I was saying off camera with someone. I said, I wouldn't want to just begin to attack or begin to, how do I use the word now? Like, I wouldn't want to score the chairman of the NCEC very low. Reasons being that it's a two-way thing. You appointed this man not up to 6 months, if I'm right, to handle election. It's not as if this man had a prior background or that has been in this kind of position or capacity as a person before. So it's going to be a very tough task on his part. Things that has to do with election. I have been a returning officer in a local government election not long time ago. So the little exposure I had, I know it's something that requires a whole lot of technicalities. So being the NCEC chairman in less than 6 months to carry out this kind of task wasn't the right thing, you know, because either they would have allowed or hired someone with the needed expertise to do this job, would have been then the second thing is that, was it intentional or is it self-censorship? Maybe the NCEC on its own trying to play along with whoever that appointed them, the government in power, then giving out information that weaken the participation of people. It can also be a deliberate, so it's a two-way thing. Is it a capacity issue, somebody acting innocently, but he doesn't have that needed capacity to do what is expected of him at every given time? Or is an issue of a deliberate attempt to weaken the participation of the people? So these are two-way, it's a 50-50 thing. So I don't want to just come and begin to attack him. So it's a shared kind of blame. Then I expected him saying that anybody that is grammar, that is English language. I expected him to make some concrete points, like if there is any violence, report to so number. I would have wanted him to drop response number. If there is emergency, security, breakdown in security from any point, what will ordinary citizen do? That is intervention number. That's why if you go to developed country where they believe in anything security should be responsive, should be timely, they will have like 911. Once you call it at every given point, it takes like 7 minutes, 10 minutes for you to have a policeman on ground. In an election like this, I would have, if I happens to be the chairman, it's not a rocket science. I will work with the security agencies to have like a muster point, either across the LGS.
All right.
When they have certain problem, you just call this number. So local government, call this emergency line, they will intervene with this time. It has a way of building confidence. You don't just come and make one vague statement that nobody can make out any tangible action from. That is my concern.
All right.
I mean, like maybe right now, you've mentioned something which is very key, which is that NTX seem to be making statements and they are expected to be delivering. So let's just do a quick tour, you know, around and see if indeed NTX is delivering. Where do we start from?
I think we should start from where it's closest. Let's Afia 9 and maybe Okpara Square.
Let's start from Okpara Square, Afia 9, and see if for any reason elections have begun just around us.
Why didn't you use the Enugu's?
Okay, you can see videos from Afia 9 now, and I mean, we've also seen videos from Okpara Square, and it's the same thing. People waiting for election materials. This is Okpara Square now. Waiting for, even though it still said Afia 9, this is Okpara Square. Waiting for videos that are for people that are yet to show up for election officials. And so, Mr. Igboke, let me bring this question to you. Accreditation shall start by 8. This is 9:30. NTX is not on ground.
Even before we get to, getting his MP, because this is not something that is only in Enugu North. We're looking at Nsukka local government area where NTEC is yet to arrive. Our correspondent there, Elijah, is of course reporting that the polling units, people are actually waiting at the wards, and then NTEC is still yet to arrive. And look at the time, it's 9:37 and they've not yet started. So we can also look at some of those clips from Nsukka local government area, seeing that the electorates are there, but NTEC is still yet to arrive. So let's take a moment to look at some of those.
Yeah.
You know, then we revert to Mr. Iboke. Empty fields, you know, not much to say.
And I mean, imagine, even if you were encouraged to come out and vote and you saw this, you'd be on your way home by now.
Definitely.
If you were there, because if the accreditation starts at 8, you ought to be front of the line. You get there 7:30. 2 hours later, NTEC is yet to arrive. So the question is, we saw NTEC doing deliveries yesterday.
Yes.
Where were they delivering to?
That is the question, you know, and you said the time. You said voting begins at 8. NTEC said voting begins at 8. So how late is this election going to actually end if they are yet to begin at 9:30? You know, it really doesn't make much sense at all that we're still at this point in this country. But of course, we're going to cross over to our correspondent in Nsukka, Elijah, much later. Mr. Iboke, are you still with us?
I think we're having some technical issues, but just looking at these pictures, since we're here, I think we also have coverage from UDI to see if, you know, voting has commenced at UDI. This, I mean, if we have any footage from UDI, I know we have people there on ground. This should be UDI local government now. Nothing going on. Nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. It seems as if nothing to see there is the common thing this morning, and that is so sad. But let's go on a very quick break and try and get our guests back on and analyze if NTEC can, you know, walk the talk
Walk
and
the talk.
talk. Is it talk the walk?
Talk the walk and walk the talk.
No, walk the walk, talk the talk. So can they walk the talk?
I think it's
and can they put their money where their mouth is?
Definitely.
The Enugu We're in Enugu right now. So the Nigeria Quenu election Saturday. We'll be right back.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
The program is still the Election Saturday, Nigeria Kwenu Election Saturday special. We are covering the local government elections in Enugu and Imo, and of course the governorship elections in Edo. I'm Nnamdi Obaya here with Natalie Uku. And in just a few seconds, we'll be taking a report from our on-set guest, Ifunanya Undule.
It's the emphasis for me.
who is taking time off from being market picking to being election picking. Or is it ballot box picking?
Ballot box. She's on the ballot.
She's on the ballot. Congratulations. So we'll come back to her, but we have to first do a bit of a tour around.
Yes.
And it seems as if the common theme is nobody is ready.
Yes.
And this brings back the question, that was NCEC really ready for this election? Because we've had people complain that, one, their press release came too late, you know. Two, we had the problem where information on security, all those things came late, accreditation, everything. It happened almost like last minute.
I'll be very honest with you, Nnamdi.
Yeah.
NCEC has been the most opaque factor in this election. And I'll say that and I'll beat my chest. Because there are so many times that I actually tried to reach out to the NCEC chairman for an interview, even on our political programs, but getting him to actually accept to come for the interview was a problem. There was always one reason or another. You know, some of them valid, very valid, very valid. Others were just like, I'll call you when I'll call you when I. Then finally, even trying to get one, it had to be through our head of news, Mr. Alex, who had to go and get the interview because I needed that. Enugu people needed that. I do understand that they've had press briefings and the rest of them, but there is more than just issuing press. You have to interact. How many radio programs did you attend? How much sensitization did you do? That's why when Dr. Iboke was saying we need to open up the floodgate, let people move around and go about, we have not prepared for that. If you've not sent, do you know that some people in Enugu, as I speak to you, do not even know that there's an election going on today?
Yeah.
I was interviewing people at Holy Ghost the other day about this election, and one of them was, oh, which election? And what does that say? They have not done their job. Then can we talk about beavers? NCEC is not going to be using beavers for this election. Why? Because they said that there are financial constraints, and that was, of course, disclosed to AIT in an earlier interview. So we have to face the reality. NCEC is not showing that they are fully ready to conduct a credible election.
Which is worrisome, because I also remember that, and this is our second Mr. Iboke this morning, Iboke, the convener of the Office of the Citizen. And, you know, while, you know, I did push back a bit when he said the government should have done something.
You were right. You were right to push back, because NCEC has its responsibility, its mandate.
Because my idea is, we can't be blaming government for something that is an independent electoral commission.
Exactly.
But here's where I will fault the government.
Yes.
The state has a Ministry of Information that has an orientation agency.
Mr. Nnamdi, let's leave the orientation
agency.
I'm
coming to that. And the orientation agency's job should be voter sensitization.
Yeah.
Now, the information for voter sensitization should come from NCEC as the conductor of the election. NCEC itself, like you rightly said, should have an orientation department.
Yes.
What was their media tour? Where were the jingles in different languages? Oh, we don't have money. Did you tell media houses, okay, we don't have money. Can we partner with you? Can you assist us?
Yes.
But this idea where people conducting elections see the media as opposition makes you worry. It was makes you worry.
Nnamdi, it was a horrendous experience for me. Imagine calling, messaging so many times. Okay, then yesterday I needed to get the list of candidates. I wanted to get the list of candidates so at least to be able to educate people and be able to announce the names correctly when the results are announced. But even that was a problem. Okay, could you please send me the secretary's number? That never came. I had to once again run to our head of news, who was able to send me the secretary's number, and then she was able to send me. So Mr. Iboke was questioning the qualifications of the NCEC chairman, saying that how old is he, how many years old, and I had to stop him. Not because he's doing such a great job, but because you have to target the situation and not the person, because then it becomes insulting.
Yeah.
So I do understand the issue of transparency. I have witnessed it. It became, the WhatsApp messages are borderline embarrassing, because I sent so many, like almost pleading, please come on my program, right? Let's educate the viewers. That didn't happen. So we have to understand that if NCEC had done better, maybe we would have witnessed more turnout today.
And here's the thing about the publication of the list of candidates.
Yes.
Now, media houses can go and get our list anywhere. But here's the problem. Nigerian laws are so funny that they prohibit you from giving out information that is not coming directly from the Electoral Commission. You can't even announce results.
Yes.
The Electoral Commission, you cannot announce candidates if your source
is not the Electoral Commission.
So your worry as the media house is that if one middle name is wrong, you can be flagged, you can be sanctioned,
Definitely.
you can be... It's very, very worrisome.
I mean, in the course of this program, we're going to be revealing the list of all the candidates for those who don't know. But like you rightly said, let's take a moment to review some of the reactions so far.
Let's see what people are saying. And let's start here in this Enugu, and let's start at Okpara Square. and from there, take a very short trip from there to Afia 9 and see what people are saying about, well, the state of things on ground.
Okay, my name is Blessing Onachuku, and this is Opera Square. Okay, the local government chairmanship and councillorship election is holding today, and we're here to start.
Okay, so what would be the reason for the delay?
I wouldn't know, but I think in a short time they'll be here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Amara Favor LM. I am an ESEC official. So, you know, today is an election, so I'm one of the officials that will work here today. And
so tell us what you think will be the outcome of this election.
Okay, the election, by the grace of God, I believe is going to go well. That everything is going to go orderly and peacefully.
Okay, is there any plan for the use of beavers?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. What's your name and then who you are?
Okay.
And where you are?
Okay. My name is Odochidema Precious. And here is Opera Square Independence Layout in Enugu State. And I'm here for the electoral process.
Okay, so what do you perceive will be the outcome of the electoral process?
Okay, I know in Nigeria they're trying everything possible to enhance the technological interventions in the electoral process, and this will give Nigerians opportunity to vote the candidate of their choice.
Okay, so there seems to be a delay of the arrival of NSEC officials. I mean, those that meant to come with the materials. So what do you think may be the cause?
Okay, we're hoping they are trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So with due time, they will soon be here, I guess.
All right, so we are at Umunevo Ward 2, Afiania, and this is exactly 9 minutes past 9 to observe the electoral process. And by the look of things, the electorate more than what we've observed at Opera Square. And by the look of things also, we saw 2 police officers. Meanwhile, the people seem to be very ready for the election while they await the arrival of the electoral materials. Meanwhile, we will be speaking with some of them to really understand what motivated them to come out for this election.
From Ogwinike here. This is Ward 2 Umunevo. We came to cast our votes. So you talked about insecurity and all that. Why should I be scared of this? Is my community. So, and my brother here is a candidate too, contesting for councillorship. So I came here to cast vote for him. Yeah.
So, but are you very hopeful that people will be out to vote?
Yeah, sure. People will be out. Yeah, people will be out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Sindibisi John. I'm here to cast my vote. This is Ward 2, Umunevo, Ogwinula, Ogwinike.
So what motivated you to come out to vote?
I want to vote the person I like and my choice.
How hopeful are you that this election is going to be a free and fair, a credible election?
I have hope. There is no problem. The election will go free and fair.
All right. Meanwhile, it seems that the election has not started.
We are waiting for the observers and the candidates that are going to do the election. We are waiting for them to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, God bless.
Okay. Afabo somebody no woman. Here the name abona abero be to vote. Kama na abia mo kanene ka the vote shaga. Kama na oga agakwa nkoma, and I hope na the thing gaga nkoma.
So, Kiemeni beha itu your vote?
According to voters card, I have my unit. I have to the vote, and I may want to travel. So I am the man to vote here. So can no go and then can I to come one or come.
So you're just here to support and to observe.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Okolo Chukwemano. I'm actually from Imo State, but I was born and raised in Enugu here, Owerri Road to be precise. So I'm a PDP residing officer for this ward, and actually my candidate is my friend. He was my childhood friend, and I'm here to support him, to give him the support. And coming to the aspect of the election materials not here now, maybe because of the movement restrictions, you know. But I believe that anytime soon from now that the materials are going to be here, and we are going to give a free and fair election, to be honest with you. And I pray my candidate wins because he has the qualities and he's a youth like me, and I believe he knows the best to do when he's in the position.
All right, so you are very hopeful that electorate will be here anytime soon, because I'm not seeing quite a number of them.
Yeah, sure. Even the people that are going to cast their votes, most of them are still at home. And most of them are residing around the area. So I believe with just a few hours from now, the election is going to kick off. All right.
You're still on to Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday. I'm still in Nnamdi Obaya, and Natalie Uku is still here. And look, you see what people are saying. It seems as if a few people are ready to vote, a few people are not ready to vote. But even the NCL staff that are there, the materials have not met them, and they are there.
Yeah.
So that means this is a logistics failure. Now, if the staff are not there, you might say, oh, the staff are incompetent, they are lazy.
No, but I was quite surprised at what one of the...
But, I'm coming there. I want to get there. I want to get there. I want to get there. I want to tie it into where I'm going. Because now, it's the materials that are not there. So that's a failure of leadership. Then we're talking about communication to the people, that they're not giving us information. Now, even within NCEC, there seems to be a communication issue within NCEC.
Because that smirk was like,
we're asking the NCEC person, she says there will be beavers. When their head has said on TV that due to financial constraints, they will not be using beavers.
She had to think, like she realized in that moment that she did not have the answer to that question. You know, it's truly, it's horrible. I mean, we can also look at it from the angle of how experienced NCEC as a body is, you know, to actually, and the level of the finances they had. But you know what we have not considered too? Wasn't NCEC given a budget for media? Why aren't they given a budget to publicize this? So then, what happened to the budget? I know I'm being a little confrontational this morning, but because I believe I have every right to be. They could have done better. And this is not just a me thing. You have pundits out there saying that they are not being completely transparent. And then if you're talking about the media budget, then how about accountability? How accountable is NCEC being about this, even the spending? How much was really spent on media publication?
It's a very good question, you know. And my worry is this. If, you know, we're talking about opacity, if there has been complaint about information opacity, how are we going to get financial transparency?
That's the question, because publicity has just been off the charts for them.
No, but I need to ask you one thing, because that very key thing, what kind of training were the staff given? If somebody who has been deployed by NCEC to conduct elections is telling us they will use beavers,
but
when NCEC says they won't use beavers.
Another thing we have to consider is, are we even sure she's truly an NCEC staff? I mean, was it a case of...
She identified herself as an NCEC staff, and I'm going to take her word for it. So I agree with you, but, you know, my question is, if she is indeed an NCEC staff, then what sort of training are they giving them?
Was there any training? Was there any training? You know, that is the question. It's horrible. But let's look at another location, possibly.
Let's see what's happening at other places, and let's start at Oji River. Let's see if indeed people are ready for that one. And then also, we would go to Udenu and some other places. But you know what? Let's start in Nsukka. Let's cross over to Elijah, our correspondent in Nsukka, and see
to explain his footage.
What is happening? What is happening in Nsukka? Elijah, can you hear us?
Yes, very well. I can hear you. Good morning.
Fantastic. Good morning, Elijah. So, give us an update. What's happening in Nsukka?
Okay, nothing much is happening here for now. We've been here quite for some hours now, since around 7 a.m. we've been here, and yet we are yet to see the officials. Basically, it's supposed to be that the electoral materials and officials are supposed to move the materials from here, the local government, to the different polling units. But right until now, we are yet to see any movement. We don't even know their next move. But we are still here. Security agencies are here, and all the electoral officials that are supposed to move their materials, most of them are outside here waiting for access to the materials. The local government gate is still locked, and no one has the access to enter there. But we are still waiting and hopeful. People are all are all hanging around here waiting for the next move until the election begins properly.
So let me get this clear. I don't want to make any mistake. Materials are not there yet.
We obviously, because there's no access to the local government office now. The gate is locked.
It's locked. And so
yes.
Is it that the materials will be deployed from the local government office to all the polling units?
Yes, that's what it means. Yes.
So that means that
because currently no polling unit is observing voting currently.
So are you telling me that materials have not yet left the local government office, that the people to take them have not yet come, or have they gone and locked the office behind them? Hello, Elijah, can you hear me?
No, the officials are yet to even pick the materials.
Wow. What of security operatives? Do we have security operatives? I can hear you very well. Do we have security operatives on ground?
Okay. Yes, we have a lot of security operatives. I even spoke to some of them when I came early in the morning, and they said they are still waiting for the next move before the election begins properly.
I mean, this is it's very worrisome. So that means that 2 hours in now, we don't have any materials, we don't have any officials, and the local government is not even open.
Yes,
so before they even deploy to anywhere, we'll be looking at almost 12 noon before we see voting start.
It's quite appalling because people are just so gathered everywhere, waiting for the next move. At least people are even ready to vote. It's just the materials and the whole process is not yet ongoing. They've not started.
I mean, it just really makes you question how prepared NCIK is. But let's talk about security. Elijah, are there security operatives present on the scene? Have you seen any security operatives?
Yes, we have a very good number of them everywhere. Vehicles, officers.
Okay.
They're all here. Yes.
Yeah, I think we definitely have footage of that. So I mean, once it's ready, we'll show how much security. You did capture it, so we'll show our viewers how much security is actually present. That will come up in the course of the program. Thank you so much, Elijah, for those insights.
We'll get back to you for updates as the day goes on. Hopefully, next time we connect, voting would have commenced.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All right, thank you very much, Elijah. Let's look at footage from OG River first and some other places to see if indeed voting has started anywhere in Enugu.
What the returning office. What the returning
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
It's still election Saturday, Nigeria Quenu special here on Afia 254, DSTV 17, GoTV. I'm still Namdi Obaya. Nathalie Oku is still here with me. And, well, Enugu is yet to wake up. The elections are very slow this morning.
And someone still thinks that Vivas will be used when he has no idea.
I mean, everything is so slow this morning. People are yet to vote. And we are waiting to see if elections will pick up.
Yeah.
But since we've checked Enugu, let's now check into Imo State, and we'll start in a very well. It's almost as if it's a repeat of Enugu. Everywhere is still quiet.
Yes.
People are still waiting. Nothing is happening yet. I mean, in Owerri West, for instance, it seems as if nothing is happening there. Everywhere, people are going about their normal business. We don't know if there is any restriction or not. What we know is that things are not happening. But let's hear from John Kennedy and see what he and the people in Owerri West have to say this morning.
We're currently live here at Ward 1 Avu Oforola, Owerri West local government area, and as you can see, there is a very high level of voter apathy. Most persons are not even here, and it is reported, as you can see, that the ISEC body is not here to conduct elections. There are no electoral materials, there are no officials, there's no security present. I mean, most persons here have left. People who were here earlier, in the earlier hours, they have left. But as we can see, some persons are waiting patiently to see if there will be a change as the time goes on.
Okay, thank you very much. I can see that nothing have started yet at this time, about 9:30. We haven't seen the ISEC officials, and even the people of Ward 1, some have been checking, not even trying to come and vote. So I would just say that there is apathy in the local government election. People are not turning up. People are not turning up because even the ISEC is not turning up by this time. So I don't think what I've seen so far that election is holding, if may, or if there is an election.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it seems as if there's an agreement by everybody not to start elections on time. this morning, and that's Owerri West, and it's, I'm wondering, like, this is no longer NSEC now, this is ISIEC.
Yes.
So, what's going on? Are they too having logistics transparency and communication problems?
Those are the questions. And this I think would have been a test for how well that these state electoral bodies would actually function to carry out their elections. But it just seems like they still have teething problems. Let's put it that way. They're still trying to, get, because it's rather late at this point, and it should have, because if elections are supposed to end at 3:30,
at 3:30,
then what are we still doing now?
I mean, you've not even reached, this is 2 hours plus after your designated start time. You've not even reached, we saw what they said in Nsukka, they've not even opened the gates. In Owerri now, whereas Owerri West was saying the same thing. My only hope is that once we are checking with Maria now at Owerri Municipal, that,
yes,
we would have maybe a better
understanding of
even a better outlook.
Yeah.
Maybe they started voting. I want to cross my fingers.
And Owerri Municipal is huge. It is massive. So if nothing is going on there, then
I'm trying
you can imagine the rural areas.
I'm trying to cross my fingers and hope that, very, 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 very possible.
But you know how things go in Imo. After a while, things will just skyrocket. Like, you'll be seeing content back to back, people trying to do all sorts of things. But hey, we'll hear all that from
we'll hear that from her. But while we're waiting for her to join the call, this is another thing I would say. Even in Imo, like Enugu, it doesn't seem as if the state independent commissions take enough time to create awareness about the elections. But even more importantly, it seems as if the parties don't want people to come out. Because while they have these closed rallies, we don't see like the governorship campaign where they're touring everywhere. Where are the local government chairmen going ward to ward, polling unit to polling unit, business to business, home to home? You're supposed to be the level of government that touches the people. If you call people now and said, oh, who is the leading candidate in your local government?
Nnamdi, is what happened. If we're still talking about, we have to head to Imo, but let's just touch this topic before we head on.
Yeah.
The election was supposed to be in October. NSEC moved it forward to September. What did that do? It may have also shortened the campaign period. So instead of going door to door, which perhaps would have, of course, taken more resources and maybe even, this is just my thinking, may have taken more time to do. You notice that most of them still going on huge rallies. We saw the different, big political rallies and campaigns because NSEC basically brought the election forward, and that gave them less time to even prepare. So that if you look at it from that angle, you start to see reason why things were basically seemingly rushed. Because remember, the 17 local government areas in Enugu State did take NSEC to court, and that now resulted in the High Court ruling that the elections be brought forward to September. So it's just horrible, how things go on, the electoral process as a whole. But let's head to Imo. Let's hear what Imo electorate are saying, and then we'll try to cross over to Marian for her insights.
All right, let's hear from our Imo electorate, and we'll be right back to join with Marian. Even though I worry that it's more of the same. We're still having issues trying to get through to Marian, unfortunately, in Owerri Municipal. But we do have some visuals from Owerri Municipal, and it's still looking very, I don't know, what's the word, very, very, very empty. Nothing is happening in Owerri Municipal yet. I don't know if we can see those videos. What's going on in Owerri Municipal right now? If, of course, there's any access, people going about their daily business everywhere. It doesn't look like there's anything happening. The gate is locked once again at the council headquarters. People are outside waiting. Nobody can access.
Yeah.
I mean, what's really going on?
What's really going
on?
It's just like telling people to come for your party at 8 a.m. and then you are still sleeping at 9. It makes no sense. It's the ultimate lack of preparation.
I mean, this is what we're seeing.
What is going on?
People...
I like that we're having Action Aid very soon. The election observers, they are going to be joining us in the studio to tell us what they've observed from all the 17 local government areas in Enugu. I wish they could also speak on Imo, but yes, we would know what the situation is like and why it appears that the NCEC is fast asleep.
I mean, I know that we also, I mean, when we finish looking at this Owerri Municipal, I know we also have some more people from Owerri West more people have come out to say that they are voting. Have come out to say they are waiting to vote and they are waiting for ECEC to do something about it. So, but I mean, look at this. The only thing missing is vehicular movement. Like cars aren't really moving.
Yeah.
But you have people going about their business, buying and selling, walking about, people just hanging around. Nobody's really thinking of, I need to prepare myself to vote.
But you know, I actually speculated this earlier. Imo State, that issue of consensus candidacy, people already feel like they know.
It's a foregone conclusion.
Precisely, so that like our correspondent said earlier, has affected the mood. It is not as hyped as some people in Enugu will tell you that, there are only 2 major political parties right now in Enugu as far as LG election is concerned. And in Imo, they will tell you just one. Because of how the structure, the political structure.
Enugu will be PDP and LP.
Is. That's what people are saying on the streets. I mean, that's what they're saying, as far as local government is concerned. But
it's very worrying. I mean, looking again at that footage of Imo, you have those who, we don't know if those people are ad hoc staff, NCEC staff, political agents, or just concerned voters. But if I was a voter and I arrived at 8 a.m. or 7:30 to be at the front of the line, and I keep saying this, and 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours later now, I'm still waiting for materials to arrive from a body that was mobilized, that was funded, that was trained,
that was asked to publicize.
That does not have to conduct this every AK Markets Day, and so had a lot of preparation time. I think it's ridiculous, and I think that the heads of NCEC and the head of ECEC, both heads should hang their heads in shame for what.
No, I don't want to picture the hanging in shame. It's like hanging in shame on Milliken Hills. I don't want to picture that. But I mean, it's still a long way to go. We would like to let the people know, who these candidates are, the political parties that are contesting for the elections. I mean, we'll definitely do that in Enugu and get.
But let's look at form. Let's go back to Owerri West. We have some more people. We have, an elderly man and middle-aged lady, and we're seeing some more. I'm getting some more reports as I'm sitting here about people, but I think we can cross over to Owerri West now and see what more of the Imo electorate are saying about the state of things right now.
That I don't want to vote, but actually I just relocated from the north. I've been residing at the north, Taraba State to be precise. So I just relocated back, and my PVC is reading Taraba State, you understand? So it is painful that I'm not voting because this is a right that I'm supposed to exercise. But my advice is, please, as we have gone out to vote, let's vote wisely. Let's vote and make Imo State better. Thank you very much.
Ihe nji pụta ime the vote because mgbe emere vote ka kemgbe so emere governorship election and the presidency emere anyị bịara tụcha vote eme ya kpojiso while anyị ma onye winere the vote anyị ma ya then ha turn ya upside down then onye werela ya were ya na-emekwa Nigeria kpojiso ya ugbu. So ha ji pụta maka ewu ha local government election. So ha chọga awụ nwaanyị ga-eje ebe ahụ wee ara anyị ihe ị ga-anụ ụdị ụka anyị kwuga nga ugbu wee ji emega gọọmenti nye ego onye akpọfara shagejeme ya nara ya rie ya ba masị anyị atọfa ụzọ anyị ara eme nwe banye echi aga aga then anyị anụkwa n'ugbu shi emega a ga-akpọfụta kanselọ then o nwere nwanyị anyị bụkwanụ n'obi anyị ji bịama shabịa mee na dị vote mana ma ọ ga-enye anyị ha anyị chọba. That's my decision. Mere m ji fama nga cheka mbanye vote agụkwa ma nyechakwa gbanye ejenye ma ha tọọ ya ọ Chineke ka ọ nọ n'aka because our survivor now is our God. Ọwụhụ enyekwala anyị ego emekwala anyị.
We're seeing a lot of, will I say, well, everybody, it's a mixed bag. Yeah. I mean, we saw these people who, despite the low voter turnout, still decided they want to come out and vote. And we've seen the other guy who can't vote because his PVC is still saying Taraba. He's not been able to, change his location, yeah, which is very sad. But
I mean, while you're trying to even find out, people talk to people who are voting.
Yeah.
It's also great that on today's broadcast we'll always be looking at why people
are
not voting. So that's something that our viewers are going to be seeing because I mean we have to also take into consideration there are people that will not be voting, and that his own reason now is the PVC.
Yeah.
So it's just general.
They couldn't be bothered. They couldn't be bothered. They couldn't bother. But let's cross over now to Owerri Municipal where Marian should be joining us. Good morning, Marian.
Good morning, Namdi.
Good morning. So, what exactly? What is the temperature there in Owerri? Why are people interested? Are people not interested? Why is the Owerri Municipal Headquarters still locked? Is ISIEC on ground? What's going on in Owerri this morning?
Okay, well, honestly, there isn't like there are any elections holding here. As you could see in the videos, there is vehicular movement on major roads here in town, except for the ones that lead to the Imo State Independent Electoral Commission Center. And reaching ISEC this morning will on vigils, but there is heavy security presence around that area, and there were already vans waiting to upload or take the electoral materials, and we were made to believe that by this time voting should have taken place or materials should have at least arrived at different polling units in Owerri Municipal. And then we went to the Owerri Municipal headquarters, and unfortunately the gate is locked. Ad hoc staff that should be taking these materials to the wards are waiting outside. And a chat with them, although they were reluctant to be on camera, revealed that they had not seen anything from ISEC office yet, and they are waiting to receive directives. As for the people, they are going about their normal activities, and the major excuse for not participating in the election happens to be that they do not believe that there is.
Hello, Miriam, can you hear us?
And this is...
Okay. Miriam, I lost you for a second.
Okay, I said that lots of persons here are going about their daily activities like it's a normal day, and the major reason, according to them, happens to be that they do not believe that there is going to be a credible conduct of the elections, and this is the governor to select.
So there was this impression before the elections that it's a foregone conclusion. APC is going to sweep the state. The governor has decided. Is that really how people in Imo State feel?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Would you repeat that?
So there was word going around before the election that the people of Imo are not really interested because, the governor has decided, the candidates have been selected, and APC is going to sweep all the polls.
Yeah.
Is that how people really feel in Imo? Hello, Miriam.
Yeah, that is the reason that not participating because they feel that the
I think Miriam is having some technical difficulties. All right, thank you so much, Miriam.
We'll try and connect back to you. We seem to have some network issues. We'll try and connect back to you. But while we are waiting for that, we'll go on a very, very quick break. And when we come back, we'll have some special guests in the studio. You don't want to miss that. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday. We'll be right back.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Kwenu Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Kwenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Okay, my name is Blessing Onachupu, and this is Opera Square. Okay, the local government chairmanship and councillorship election is holding today, and we're here to start.
Okay, so what could be the reason for the delay?
I wouldn't know, but I think in a short time they'll be here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Amara Favor LM. I am an SK official, sorry. So, you know, today is an election, so I'm one of the officials that will work here today. And
so tell us what you think will be the outcome of this election.
okay, the election, by the grace of God, I believe is going to go well. That everything is going to go orderly and peacefully.
All right. Is there any plan for the use of beavers?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yeah.
What's your name and then who you are?
Okay.
And where you are?
Okay, my name is Chidema Precious, and here is Opera Square Independence Layout in Enugu State, and I'm here for the electoral process.
Okay, so what do you perceive will be the outcome of the electoral process?
Okay, I know in Nigeria they're trying everything possible to enhance the technological interventions in the electoral process, and this will give Nigerians opportunity to vote the candidate of their choice.
Okay, so there seems to be a delay of the arrival of NSEC officials. I mean, those that meant to come with the materials. So what do you think may be the cause?
Okay, we're hoping they are trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So with due time, they will soon be here, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we are at Umunevo Ward 2, Afiania, and this is exactly 9 minutes past 9 to observe the electoral process. And by the look of things, there are electorates more than what we've observed at Opera Square. And by the look of things also, we saw 2 police officers. Meanwhile, the people seem to be very ready for the election while they await the arrival of the electoral materials. Meanwhile, we will be speaking with some of them to really understand what motivated them to come out for this election.
From Ogwinike here. This is Ward 2 Umunevo. We came to cast our votes. You talked about insecurity and all that. Why should I be scared of this? Is my community. So, and my brother here is a candidate too, contesting for councillorship. So I came here to cast vote for him. Yeah.
So, but are you very hopeful that people will be out to vote?
Yeah, sure, people will be out. Yeah, people will be out.
My name is BC John. I'm here to cast my vote. This Ward 2, Umunevo, Ogwinula, Ogwinike.
So what motivated you to come out to vote?
I want to vote the person I like and my choice.
How hopeful are you that this election is going to be a free and fair and credible election?
I have hope. There is no problem. The election will go free and fair.
All right. Meanwhile, it seems that the election has not started.
We are waiting for the observers and the candidates that are going to do the election. We are waiting for them to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, God bless.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Queen Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17.
You're welcome back to Nigeria Kwenu Election Day Special. I'm still following up on the election in Enugu, the local government election in Enugu, in Imo, and also the gubernatorial election in Edo State. We have received word from our correspondent in Nsukka that more security personnel have landed on the scene at the wards in Nsukka, and also that the electoral materials have finally arrived. Let's take a look. And that signals that the local government election has finally kicked off in Nsukka, albeit quite late. Doris Mayim Shishe joins me now on set. Doris, it's so good to see you.
I mean, it feels good to be back on a day like this.
I like I said to be back. It means that you're going to be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that.
Are we evaluating your terms?
Let's not go there.
So let's talk about what we've just seen. I mean, NCEC has been accused of not being fully prepared, elections starting so late in Nsukka, and now security personnel have come. You saw the correspondents consciously videoing the ground because you don't want to be caught videoing them. They don't like that.
The thing is, this is about 10:45 a.m. and from what the NCEC chairman said, I mean, prior to this day, he said they were fully ready, they were prepared, and I think they were meant to start at 8 a.m. and then voting begins at 10 a.m. to end at 3:30, and this is 10:45. So we are hoping that at the end of the day, I mean, how does it define preparedness on a day like this? They had time to prepare for these elections. Materials were already deployed before this day. So what stopped them from moving on time to the polling units? So I mean, these are questions that perhaps the NSEC chairman would have to answer. Because at the end of the day, it's going to mar the process.
I don't see him answering any of these questions. So well, let's hope
that he gets to address concerns like it, because it's going to affect the outcome of the elections at the end of the day. Because if voting is going to end at 3:30, how do you now calculate the number of the hours that were spent on people coming out to vote? And this is outside the verification process, because that has not been done yet. So, I mean, there's a gap.
There is a big gap. All right, let's look at another local government in Enugu. Let's go to Udi, where there is a report of violence as a fight has ensued between the PDP party agents and Labour Party agents. This is at Unity Primary School, Amachala. Let's take a look at that clip.
We are just arrived and we have been having a series of fights. There's no conducive place to be in this arena. I'm reporting from Guasa Ward, the local government. Guasa Ward. The security personnel are there, but without any arm. The fight is between the PDP party agents and Labour Party agents. There's no conducive environment here. Thank you. Ono Promise reporting from Guasa Ward, the local government, community primary school, Amachala, polling units.
I mean, one can now say that there is definitely conflict between party agents of these major political parties. Doris, what do you think?
Now, the thing is, on days like this, I think issues like these are usually expected. And the good thing is we have security personnel on ground. And like we heard from the voice down, so meaning that perhaps they might just have to, put some sort of order as one want to have it. But the reality to all of this is that yesterday, I mean, I think Action Aid, the good thing that, I mean, he's going to be introduced sooner, and NSEC, they facilitated the peace accord thing. I mean, parties were meant to sign a peace accord, meaning that there's going to be some sort of orderliness during the process.
I mean,
and
I do hope for orderliness.
with this play now, that doesn't mean signing the peace accord doesn't necessarily mean keeping the peace. Because, I mean, these are questions.
I mean, we're looking at, we saw in that same report, security operatives were seen inspecting the sensitive materials, but the sensitive materials still took time to get to the final destination. So what do we know? But before we get into all of that, let's quickly introduce a special guest that will be joining us now, the head of programs, Action Aid, Mr. Celestine Okudili Odo. Thank you so much for being here with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thanks for having me.
And it's great to be seated with a body that has been monitoring the elections in the 17 LGAs in Enugu. So tell us, what have you witnessed so far?
Okay, thank you very much. Early this morning, we moved around, but I can say that our observers, as early as 7 a.m., have all got to their various locations across the 17 LGAs. So, but within the metropolis, as at 8 a.m., 8:15, we are in some of the polling stations, like New Haven Primary School, Ward 10, GTC, and Coal Camp, Enugu North Local Government, Enugu South Local Government. I could say the feeling is that the people are out. The people are out there, like GTC, you see them quietly seated, waiting, but unfortunately, the NSEC officials aren't there as at this period. But you see the security agents, they were all there, seated also waiting. So everyone were just anticipating to see the NSEC official arrive. But I could say at that period, no. Yeah, so, but the implication here is that, just like you said earlier on, what happens to the time lost? Yeah, because as at 8:30, supposedly, they should have been on ground setting up their tents and all that, but that didn't happen,
Now, the issue around, from what you've said, I mean, people coming out, it seems that the issue around voter apathy isn't the case within this Enugu North area where you already observed. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a good signal. It's a good signal to see people waiting, anticipating that they will vote. And that's a very good sign because it's also part of integrity test. So you are looking at the resilience of the people and the willingness to come out to vote despite some of the disappointment witnessed during the 2023 general election. You know, so that's a very good development. So we just watch as the day unfolds. But at the same time, is also looking at the security agents. You know, a major concern in the election is the conduct of the security agents. But as early as that time, you see them seated, waiting for the official. I had opportunity to interact with some of them at the GTC. They said they've been here, they are waiting, the people are there, so hopefully they arrive. So our observers are out, and by now we should have information on those areas that the officials have arrived.
Okay, now I would like to take you back to what we just saw from Udi. I think one of our correspondents sent in some clips, a bit of rancor there. And yesterday, Action Aid, like I mentioned a while ago.
On Wednesday.
Oh, okay, on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Facilitated the signing of the peace accord together with NSEC and all some of the political parties.
Yeah.
And from the report we gathered, about 16 parties didn't show up. I mean, if that's correct, you let me know. But then again, with what is happening, allegedly happening between the Labour Party agent and the PDP agent, what do you think this might mean for the outcome of the election in that particular, local government?
I think there's something to celebrate here, yeah? Because for the first time in the history of local government election in Enugu State, we are having the parties, the election management body coming together, traditional rulers, to sign a peace accord. It hasn't happened before. So that's a landmark development. The political parties were there. They were. But few weren't there. But we could also have been excuses and all that. But you had the traditional rulers there. The commissioner of police was there, seated till end of the event. The INSEC chairman was also there, seated till the end of the event. The accord was signed, but some of them, some of the political parties like PDP that weren't there, the letter signed. As at Friday, yesterday, the accord was fully signed. And as at yesterday, they started sharing it to the political parties.
Okay.
So, but here, one thing is signing accord. Accord supposedly is to guide conduct, behavior during the election, which already you gave your consent. So, expectedly, going beyond that is, should there be a sanction when you've given your consent and your behavior is not in consonance with the consent you've given? So maybe that may be a further discussion going forward. Yeah.
Definitely. Now we're looking at NSEC that revealed in an interview on a TV station that they would not be making use of beavers because of financial constraints. Should that be a concern? Yeah, it's a concern. Actually, we paid a courtesy call to him on Tuesday, on Monday. Yeah, we paid a courtesy call to him. We met him in the office and we had a discussion. He made us understand that the election will be guided by INEC standard, INEC procedure. The only difference is that beavers will not be deployed, due to what you just said, financial constraint. Is a concern. Though he assured us that the voters register will be deployed. So the challenge now is in terms of accrediting voters, the processes, and all that, So there's a gap there, because as we know, beavers has really brought in some sanity in terms of that accreditation. Well, let's look at what we've witnessed at Aninri, LGA, and also UDI. We've seen scuffles between PDP and Labour Party, and they resonate across the two local governments, right? And one of them, the one at Aninri, actually saw the LP candidate injure himself. Apparently it was reported that the PDP candidate or the members, they were chasing away, some people, they were chasing out people from the ward. So you start to ask yourself the reason for this kind of tension between those two political parties. Do you consider those the two major parties right now contesting this election?
Yeah, I think taking us back, this is exactly why we push for signing peace accord. Supposedly that's not what it should be. In any election, the conduct of the political parties has a lot to determine the credibility and integrity of the votes, and also allowing voters to come out, because seeing such violence as early as this morning, that would determine people from coming out. So you see the impact will be much, affecting voters' turnout, but also affecting the processes. And going beyond Enugu State in terms of local election is also a discussion at the higher level. So part of the proposal, reform proposal, is should there be a sanction on the behavior of political parties on the election day? So such sanctions has to do with violence, has to do with thuggery, has to do with vote buying and all that. So if INEC, in terms of, reform that we are pushing, looking at the electoral 2022 is there. We saw what happened during 2023 election. So each election, you see the gap unfolding. But, the essence of this, our observation, is being able to carefully observe such gaps and becomes part of what is being pushed in terms of reform.
At the end of the day, we are hoping that when your reports are ready, all of these would amount to a change in future, subsequent elections.
That's exactly what it means.
Now, I think one thing Action Aid has also been campaigning for is that of inclusion and the issue around marginalization of women and youth and generally inclusion. And from the look of things, taking PDP for instance, you realize that across the 17 local government councils, we have just male all through the chairmanship, positions. And for councillorship, I know there were a few women, one or two, vying for these positions. Now, what does this mean for when it comes to inclusion? Do you think we still have a long way to go as regards carrying women along or youth, or could it be a thing of interest, or is it something that's politically motivated, so to speak?
It's actually of major interest and at the same time of concern. Women, youth, persons with disabilities, these are our major constituents, and they are the forefront of the work we do. You can't talk about political participation without everyone being on board. So we've had different projects also within Enugu State, also ongoing on women political participation. So we are deliberate about that. So such projects, empowering them in terms of understanding the political process, also being able to be part of that process. Standing as political party leaders also, but not just having women as a tool, singing and clapping during campaigns. No, we should go beyond that. But women also having substantial impact in terms of our politics, standing in as candidates. And to do this, we need a whole lot of work in terms of political parties, structure, their leadership structure. But at the same time also encouraging women, to have that confidence to be able to also become part of the process. But as we know, the whole lot of factor when you talk about women political participation that has to do with traditions.
Women, earlier I was able to learn that some of them do not want to vote because of the high cost of transportation, some respondents claimed, and the fear of violence, as we're now seeing in Udi and Aninri local government. So those were the two reasons that many of them did not want to come out to vote.
But then again, if you want to look at it from the angle of them having a right to vote, I don't think that excuse would suffice.
Yeah, it's definitely an excuse.
At the end of the day, if you're a woman and you want to be out there, and if you're talking about inclusion, you should not be talking about a stipend for
that is just an excuse because you should.
So at the end of the day, would you say it's something that borders around awareness creation? Because ideally, some persons were not even aware, are not even aware that today is a local government council elections. So in this case, there's a gap at information and sensitization level. Yeah. So was there some sort of awareness from Action Aid? Because I understand you trained election observers across the 17 local government councils. But beyond that, was there some sort of grassroots sensitization?
Yeah, we have that. I mentioned the project that just ended, Women Voices and Leadership, is targeted at building that political consciousness and leadership among the women, but also going down the grassroots in terms of creating awareness, civic education. I could say a major gap for us is that civic education is not there. That civic awareness is not there. Even as a level of INEC, national, there's still that gap which the civil society organizations are bridging. So coming back to Enugu, that should constitutes a major component of the election management body engagement within the state. Prior to this election, you know, they should have taken time letting people know that this election will happen. I could say many people I spoke with this morning never knew that there's nothing like election that will be going on this morning. So that information is not out, is not there. But even when it's there, it's not. It didn't get down to the grassroots.
Given NSEC should have done better.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a budget allocated for publicity? What happened to the budget?
I could not say, I can't speak on this, but for any election management body to conduct an election, there must be a provision for that. There must be an appropriation. So the question becomes the body, you know, was it part of what is budgeted for the election or not, or how was it carried out? But in terms of whether it should be. You know, there's nobody that will conduct election without that becoming a component of, you know. But at the same time, it's also, there's opportunity out there. It's not just about government, but also how does government build partnership with somebody in terms of, look, Enugu State, we are planning to have an election September 21st. Are you willing to partner with us at the national level during a national general election? I guess different support from different international development body, international development partners. So that could also happen at the state level. But the question is, are we interested in such?
I mean, that is the question.
Now,
that's the question.
Yes, while that remains a question, I would still like to bring us back to the issue of awareness. I mean, sometime in July, Supreme Court, ruled a verdict in favor of local government having financial autonomy, meaning that they can give approval to some finances, make decisions, and build projects on their own. So now, if you're now going back to the constitution at the grassroots level, do you think they have this information at their disposal? Are they even aware that the local government councils and now chairman will now be as powerful as one might want to put it?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's there. It's not yet there. The information is not, even within the urban area, metropolis, how many people are aware of that judgment, you know, of that court pronouncement? It's not there. So it's still also part of what awareness that should be created. But for me, it's a celebration, you know. Election, I always see it as a festival. You know, it's a festival in democracy where people come out to exercise their franchise. You know, in other climes, people look forward to it. So for us, it's something that should be celebrated. It's an opportunity that everyone should be able to catch it. And at the same time, you know, local government election has not been taken serious in Nigeria. But with this pronouncement, you can see many states are already pushing forward. Plateau Assembly just approved one appropriation to hold the election, and many states
Imo is holding theirs today after 5 years.
Yes, Imo and all that. So many states are caning. And what is it? What it means is that it is a good development for our democracy. The local government having that autonomy to exercise their development opportunity choices. And what it means is that they will now receive funds direct. And I'm sure, given the current allocation pattern, there will not be any local government that will be getting anything less than 300 million plus. That's a whole lot. And FAC allocation monthly. So with that, any local government that really want to push, you know, their development agenda can push. And what that means is also reducing the influence of the state on the local government. So it's a big opportunity. But media, journalists, you guys also have very big work ahead in terms of, you know, creating awareness and all that. For instance, on this election, I expected to see like flyers from NSEC in terms of, you know, informing people on this election, voting guidelines and all that. So I've moved around, I've not seen anything like flyer anywhere from anybody.
And I ask again?
So what happens in the rural communities?
What publicity budget?
Yeah, the publicity budget. Why that is coming on, I think we should have the NSEC chairman to answer that question, because as interesting as that may sound, it's something that we should talk about. And then again, issues around, while I was coming to the office this morning, I saw some people, both private vehicles and public transportation system, very busy in some magazine in Enugu. And at some point you get to walk into a police checkpoint and they are lost. They don't even know what's going on. Perhaps they're thinking some sort of routine checkup.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, the question around publicity stick would come to fore. But how do we even get better? How do we even move past this stage? Because in the general elections, you realize that there are campaigns, there are rallies, the buses everywhere, there's a buzz in town. People are talking about it, even at the media on different platforms, people are talking about it. But in this case, nobody really talked about it. And from the few discussions I had with persons off camera, they were like, they've already selected their chosen candidate, so why do I have to stress myself to vote? Are you of this mindset that it's more of a selection than an election?
No, I don't have that mindset. You know, from our engagement discussions, we were assured of free and fair election in this state.
So where's the case?
Yes, and we believe that will happen. Things are still unfolding. So by the end of the day, we have our observers, we have our app. So we get our data from the field, we analyze that. So that will tell us what's, you know, the credibility otherwise of the election.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, before we let him go, one last question. You know, you are an election observer, and every election we've always had cases where people will observe and give reports and recommendations at the end of the day. How efficient do you think this has always been? For instance, in the last general elections, we saw the UN, we saw EU, we saw different reports, and it seems like INEC never agreed to any of the observations that were made, or most of the observations that were made. Do you think anything might change in this case from all that you have seen on ground?
That's a very good question. You know, with regards to observation, you know, the end of each election is the beginning of another phase of election. And our work in terms of observation and all that, it has really contributed in terms of improving our electoral processes and system, because each election there will be a report, and that report outlines what happened, the observations, the gaps, and makes recommendations on how such could be improved on. Like the 2023 general election, we had a whole lot of observations, you know, and we made the recommendation. Just in terms of what you're just saying, in terms of INEC accepting observation reports, of course they should. They accredited the observers, both national and international. So they should be able to accept. But at the same time, INEC has also, over time, improved in terms of the procedure, like the use of technology, introduction of beavers and all that. Remember, all those things weren't there. But through the observation processes, you know, such reform proposals were made, which eventually went into the act. For instance, the 2022 Electoral Act. So it's a process, you know. But INEC at the same time also need to have an open mind, need to work with civil society, look more critical into recommendations that we make from time to time.
And in this case, NSEC.
In this case, NSEC, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Celestine Okudili Odo, Head of Programs Action Aid. It was a pleasure having you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And we hope that at the end of today, perhaps we'll see some
we'll still get to see again. We'll still get to see again. The day is still very young.
All right, thank you so much. So we've just received another report, still in Onsoka. We just reported that security operatives had arrived and that election materials had also arrived. Now we've received information that verification of returning officers is ongoing. Let's take a moment to review that and then we'll come back.
Why
Following this, our correspondent in Nsukka, Elijah, just reported that Opunano polling unit officials just left with their election materials. The polling unit officials just left with their election materials. We'll get more details on that and connect with him and also see what's happening in Okigwe, Imo State. The program returns shortly. Please stay with us.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Queen Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Queen Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Queen Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Queen Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Queen Election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV Channel 254 and GoTV Channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching the Nigeria Quenu election Saturday special. And we just reported that in Osoka, the process has kicked off. And some of the officers, the electoral officers, have moved on from the local government to the polling units to commence the election. Of course, this is still rather late.
Very
but
late.
So far, so peaceful, albeit late. Heading over straight to Owerri, to Imo State right now. We're going to Imo State where Emmanuel Wazwe is reporting from Okigwe local government area. I've just learned from Doris that it was rumored that elections
Yes, and from the ISEC chairman that I think about 3 local governments won't be having elections because of insecurity, that Osu, Onuimo, and Okigwe. So, but I mean, Emmanuel will give us more update on that. Let's see how that.
Yeah, if those 3 local governments are not supposed to have elections, then let's know if the elections actually eventually did get scheduled to hold in that local government. Let's start with Okigwe. Emmanuel, are you with us? Emmanuel. Yes, Emmanuel, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some issues connecting with him, but definitely he's going to connect back to us. But I mean, Doris, this is a valid concern, issue of security.
Yes, let me try to see if maybe when he comes on board, he gets to tell us what it's about, because I know Imo State has always been there with insecurity all over the place. And it's a good thing that so far we've not heard of any violent outcome yet. And I'm hoping that it continues that way. But if ISEC knew, of course, is on the know that Okigwe or Nuimo with such a bad spot, do you not think there should have been some sort of adequate arrangement to ensure that the issue around insecurity is being, settled before this day? I mean, it wasn't as if they woke up yesterday and decided that they want to go to, the polling unit to conduct elections. This is a planned process. So were there not some sort of arrangement put in place to ensure that the safety of the mass, because it's concerning.
You keep skirting around the insurgents. You keep skirting around the unknown.
It's always been there.
What Emmanuel said earlier, I mean, I would love to hear this from him. He said that there were lots of, threats from unknown gunmen, and as a result of that, many people do not want to speak. Many of them do not want to be seen on TV. So he's basically unable to even get any interview from them because unknown gunmen threatened them that, they were going to do all manner of things. So nobody wants to be the face of Okigwe at this point in time, which is very sad. You know, it's almost like when these miscreants take over a certain area, you just displace everybody, you make people live in so much fear. And when you feel like the government and the security agencies cannot adequately tackle that situation, it really takes away the freedom that you should enjoy as an individual.
Yeah, you know, one thing you raised earlier was the issue of budget. And from all that we've always known, there are adequate budgets to tackle issues like this. There are mechanisms in place. It's a state for crying out loud. So are we saying that the unknown government are more powerful than the state? Is that what it is? And if that's not the case, so at the end of the day, that has always played out in several other elections. You get to hear that they had X number of votes in this location, and in real sense of the word, nobody voted. No elections materials were deployed to that unit, and no voter or no citizen came out, no Imola came out to vote. But let's wait and see if there will be any numbers from that region, because at the end of the day, if that is the case, then the state government and all stakeholders involved will have lots of questions to answer at the end of the day. Really.
What we can say for now is that elections are also being delayed in Imo State. You know, ICEC is basically doing what NCEC is doing here in Enugu. We're getting reports from all kinds of our correspondents saying that, you know, earlier as at even 9, 10, 11 elections have yet to kick off in many of the wards. So the case is still the same, lack of adequate adherence to time. You know, 8 a.m. was meant to be the election time, and then we're seeing now that, you know, elections are just starting to kick off in certain areas, and also nothing at all.
And as funny as this sounds, it seems like we're not moving as a country or as a region, because this has always been the case from time immemorial. Even during the last general elections, INEC materials came very late. They'll tell you there were issues with the beavers, they were trying to do accreditation, there was no network, different stories. Now, in this case, beavers aren't even deployed. So what is with the delay? So these are critical questions that at the end of the day, if we have to grow, if we have to move on, these are questions, these are boxes that have to be checked, because we can't keep going round circles. Every election cycle, we hear they arrived late. Why? Because they forgot materials. In the last general elections, we heard of cases where they came, there were no voting sheets. They had to go back to the locations to pick. At the end of the day, time and all of that, people couldn't even vote. But guess what? Number of people who voted came to us that these are the people that voted. But some persons never had access to voting at all because of time constraints. So we have to move forward. That's just the honest truth.
Definitely we do. All right, so we do have Emmanuel Wazwe back, reporting all the way from Okigwe local government area in Imo State. Emmanuel, are you with us?
Yes, I'm very clearly with you here. Good afternoon.
Welcome, Emmanuel.
It's here midday. Thank you very much.
All right, good. Yeah, I think it's still morning.
It's still morning. It seems as though it's already.
It seems like it's already afternoon. I think it's NTX delay, time lapse that's actually making us, misread the time. Maybe we've all lost track of time today. All right, Emmanuel. So
exactly.
Doris made a very interesting revelation earlier, saying that there are 3 LGAs the election will not be holding in Imo, and Okigwe was actually one of them. But there you are, and we're seeing that there are some people where you are right now. So tell us, what is happening in Okigwe? What is the atmosphere like? Would elections be holding in this local government despite the level of insecurity?
I think I have found myself in one of the ungoverned places, because here at the local government secretariat, from background checks, the sole administrator no longer operates from here. I am told he operates from Imo State, from Owerri, the state capital. So whoever you see here are just the ad hoc staff. And what you notice actually is that everyone is always looking over their shoulders. Every single motorcycle that comes here and drops off persons is suspected to be, as an object of insecurity. You know what I mean by that. So it somehow, and if I had the opportunity to film the environment, you would have seen how messy everywhere is, ungoverned, overgrown with bushes. If you are told that this place is a seat of government at the local level, you hardly would believe it. So it translates to exactly what's happening with the people. Somebody I interviewed earlier told me how disappointed he is with the whole issue, that if the election is not going to hold, that they are better told that elections are not going to hold than to allow them come out here and then nothing is happening, nobody is providing any information and nothing like that. And just for, a few meters away from me, I can see the local government office of the ESEC, okay? But people are just sitting down, nothing is happening so far.
I mean, I like how you put it, ungoverned areas.
But it doesn't sound cool, even though it's something is a reality. That is why I've been asking. So at the end of the day, is there any presence of the voting materials at the polling unit, or just people? Yeah, go on.
There is nothing of such. There are individuals now treating themselves to snacks and all that, people buying snacks, you know, trying to quench their thirst and all that. Apart from that, nothing again is happening in terms of electioneering. One thing also you will have to understand is, while I was coming here at the popular Okigwe Junction, just by the Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway, in fact, it seemed as if it's business as usual. People were busy going about their businesses. But then, the cyclists, the commercial motorcyclists that brought me to this place never knew that such a thing as election is holding today. And he's an indigene or a citizen here in Imo State.
I mean, this is really concerning, because at the end of the day, questions like, would there be any chairman emanating from this local government is what one would want to ask, because across the 27 local government, we expected that elections should be going on. So we have both their councillors and chairmen coming out at the end of the day. But for this local government, like I told Natalie earlier, I mean, from the ESEC chairman, he alleged that the election might not be holding in Onuimo, Osu, and Okigwe, and we already confirmed that. But, I mean, what happens to the vacant position? Who gets to fill them at the end of the day? It's a question that, I mean, that one will want to really ask at this point.
That's the question that ESEC will have to answer, or the state authorities themselves will be able to answer. As it is now, this place is said to be under the governance of the sole administrator who never comes to work anyway here because of insecurity. So we wonder whether it's going to be business as usual. If the election never holds here today, will ESEC set another day for the election to be held? And if it's the situation about the insecurity, will it going to be permanent, or should we continue to think it shall be permanent?
Well put yet again. Will it be permanent in the ungoverned part of Imo State? Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
I mean, keep your eyes there on the field, and let's see if we'll get more information. And stay safe.
Very
important. Please do stay safe.
These are the issues
Thank you very much.
we keep talking about. Now, beyond awareness, it seems like this has come to stay in Imo State, so Okigwe. So now I would want to repeat that question again. Does it mean unknown government are more powerful than state actors? Are they more powerful than the state government? Are they more powerful than security personnel that are meant to ensure that there's peace and, you know, orderliness in the state or in that particular local government? So now what happens to that particular position where someone is meant to feel as chairman or different councillors at that different wards?
Yes.
So
what happened? You start to think of the fact that people actually live, breathe, and sleep in that
fear.
place. In fear. People are living there. You know, anybody can just come, raise your house, open your doors, come in, do all sorts, and then the person will be labeled an unknown gunman. You know, so the problem is what Nambi would always say is the lack of consequence. You know, they've not apprehended many of these. They may have apprehended some, but there are still largely a lot of them that have not even been identified. You know, the unknown gunman thing has become like regular language. You know, we throw it around, it's bandied around, unknown gunman, and they get away. Scot-free.
Yes, Natalie, I feel like the state government is not doing enough. If I have to be sincere at this point, there's more that can be done.
You know, it really broke my heart when Emmanuel said ungoverned.
Because at the end of the day, we have budgetary allocations to tackle issues like this. We have, you know, we have, 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 people who are supposed to be sent to these areas to ensure that there is peace and order in the land. And at the end of the day, we as the media would have to spotlight these issues so it can be better. But it seems like every election cycle, we keep getting issues around violence. And today people are scared. And who knows what will happen in the future if nothing is done at the end of the day.
Well, let's quickly connect to another correspondent. He would be reporting from Owerri West, John Kennedy Obuna. John Kennedy, good morning. I hope it's still morning. Because of ECEC and NCEC, I believe we have lost track of time in the studio.
Welcome, John Kennedy.
Sunday or Saturday?
Yes,
Saturday.
it is.
Okay.
John Kennedy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us, what is the atmosphere like?
As you can see, a lot of persons are here in Afo and Oforola Ward 1, which is in Owerri West Local Government area. And a lot of them are really getting pissed because they have been here since 8 a.m. Some have been here since 9 a.m. Some even came out late, feeling that maybe the election processes have started. But I mean, the ISEC and its body are not even here. There are no materials here for people to vote. So people are just seated, waiting patiently. Some are even tired already. And
also in these numbers, but at the end of the day, there is no some sort of will I say availability on the part of the ECEC personnel, because there's no materials for voting, there's no electoral officer on ground. At the end of the day, you've not been able to speak to anyone to ascertain why this gap is there. So I think it calls for serious concern.
It does call for serious concern, you know,
because it's 11:30.
Yes. Nothing is going on. ECEC, NCEC, what is going on? What is going on in some of these areas? Thank you so much, John Kennedy. Keep on watching. We can't wait till things pick up. And at this point, we only wonder when today's election will end. Thank you so much, John Kennedy, for that update.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Now we will just take a quick break. We're still going to be looking at more content from Enugu and Imo State. We'll get interviews from John Kennedy's location, Owerri West, what voters there are saying, and what our correspondent has also been able to gather from Udi, local government area in Enugu State. Stay locked on this channel. We'll be back in just a short while. And do not forget that we're going to be getting straight to Edo State soon as we do monitor the governorship election. Thank you for watching so far. Stay tuned.
This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. This Saturday, 21st September 2024, Afia is on the ballot. It's Nigeria Queen Saturday, with all-day coverage from Edo, Imo and Enugu states. Join us for all-day coverage on the Enugu and Imo local government elections as well as the Edo gubernatorial elections. Nigeria Quenu election Saturday, all day. Exclusive to Afia, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Been here since morning. We have been here waiting for the ISEC. There are a lot of women out there. You can see them. We have not seen anybody. We have come to. I want to let the people know that there is no material to vote yet. Yes, that is what I want to. If any further information, we will let you people. But as I'm concerned, there will be election every here. For the moment, this is 11:18 now. It was be the election. But there will be I talk about election. I'm going. Okay, government take the how do you try got where? I
did not know that today is election, number one. Number two, even though that I do it finish, and now I'm not aware anything again more. Aware anything. I go gam. I don't know anything I will vote. I know that I will get my own share. So anything they are doing, let them remember the poor ones. So thank you.
I'm in Nigeria. I participate in whole Nigeria mega because if I participate, that means I'm not a Nigerian. Taka state government to vote a local government election, which is grassroots election, councillor and chairmanship. That's the reason for Akambia casting my own votes. So, only when party mbuche mfopano mukopano angabe ega election. So, aga parliamental election aga parliament ga be log mawo ebelusho nya owolo onye godo nenkofu anga wo nda capture election no game deka pana.
The past three, they're not doing well. That's all. They're not doing well. See hunger everywhere, hardship everywhere. So how can people come out and vote again? So that's the problem.
We have no election in the East. We only have selection. If there is election, let there be evidence.
Okay.
Do you understand? If there is anything like election, let there be evidence. We are doing election, there is no poster of any candidate.
Okay. Okay, my name is Odochidema Precious. And here is Opera Square Independence Layout in Enugu State. And I'm here for the electoral process.
Okay, so what do you perceive would be the outcome of the electoral process?
Okay, I know in Nigeria they're trying everything possible to enhance the technological interventions in the electoral process, and this will give Nigerians opportunity to vote the candidate of their choice.
Okay, so there seems to be a delay of the arrival of NSEC officials. I mean, those that are meant to come with the materials. So what do you think may be the cause?
Okay, we're hoping they are trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So with due time, they will soon be here, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Okolu Chukwemano. I'm actually from Imo State, but I was born and raised in Enugu here, Owerri Road to be precise. So I'm a PDP residing officer for this ward, and actually my candidate is my friend. He was my childhood friend, and I'm here to support him, to give him the support. And coming to the aspect of the election materials not here now, maybe because of the movement restrictions, you know. But I believe that anytime soon from now that the materials are going to be here, and we are going to give a free and fair election, to be honest with you. And I pray my candidate wins because he has the qualities, and he's a youth like me, and I believe he knows the best to do when he's in the position.
All right, so you are very hopeful that electorate will be here anytime soon, because I'm not seeing quite a number of them.
Yeah, sure. Even the people that are going to cast their votes, most of them are still at home. And most of them are residing around the area. So I believe with just a few hours from now, the election is going to kick off. All right.
These were clips. And of course, that was a recap of interviews from Opera Square. And subsequently on the program, we're going to definitely hear from the electorate at Udi local government area, because Afia TV is there live, and we'll be giving you all those insights in just a few minutes. But before we do get to that, let's look at what's trending in the world of social media. Divine Onoha joins us now. Divine, what exactly is going on socials?
A lot is going on, and it's quite unfortunate we don't have a lot of content from the Enugu State election and the Imo State election. We have more from the Edo Guba, of course. It's a gubernatorial election, so a lot of people are saying things. But yesterday, which happens to be the eve of the election, Prince Henry Okoje, that's Mercy Johnson's husband, escaped assassination. He said that he was reportedly attacked by armed men suspected to be political thugs at his residence on Friday morning. And these thugs were disguised as police officers, and you know, they also made a confession at some point. They made a confession that they were sent by the PDP, that's the PDP party, that they are the ones who sent them to, you know, arrest them, to come and assassinate him. And a lot has been said about it. While some people think that this is all planned, some people also think, oh, this politics is getting really, really bloody, you know, it's becoming a do or die thing, which shouldn't be. Now, some people are saying that Mercy Johnson, I don't know how they managed to link the whole thing up. They say Mercy Johnson is an actress, so she's probably writing a script, you know, and they are trying to buy pity votes from the people, since, of course, he's the coordinator of the APC campaign, and, you know, he's such a respectable person, a very, very big political figure there. So they're saying that by putting it out there as though he's trying to be assassinated, they are making the other party look bad so that they can get more votes to themselves. And let's just take a look at what some of the comments are saying. I have the comments here, and this one here says, Mercy Johnson couldn't come up with a better script. What's this nonsense I just read? I really find it hard to understand why people are bringing Mercy Johnson into this. But again, another comment here says, his wife is an actress. She probably wrote the script. And this one said, why do you have to kill someone because you want a political office? And another comment here says, story, and you tied their clothes together as handcuffs. I think we have those pictures here because the guys were, you know, they used their clothes to tie their hands, which doesn't make sense. And some other people commented on the fact that they were wearing a campaign shirt that wasn't their size. So it's looking like it's not entirely legitimate. It's looking like it's some sort of, but I don't know what you think generally.
I mean, I do. First thing I was happy when I heard the third comment, because I was going to say that people need to really stop trivializing things. You know, trivializing things, because this could have actually been another story. He could have actually been killed. You know, yes, his attackers might have had primitive means of trying to, you know, put him in bondage more or less, and maybe that's why they use the shirts. I don't expect they'll have it. Well, Nigeria, anything is possible. But yes, that was probably, I don't think it was a script. And by the way, if that was scripted, how would that have gotten any sympathy from people? I mean,
because he's not, and then he's not vying for any position at the state.
I think considering the fact that he's coordinating the APC, yeah.
So that if assuming something bad had happened to him, that would have marred the process. That would have been more, I think, affected the APC more than getting sympathy votes for them.
Exactly.
So it doesn't even align.
Right? Well,
because there would have been some sort of rancor and some sort of disorderliness, you know, affecting the outcome for the APC as a coordinator in code would have been affected. Because I don't see it being an angle. I don't see it being some sort of sympathy. Because I mean, it doesn't even make sense.
I think it's just people and another thing we need to consider is many people commenting are not happy with the APC.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps if it was another party, they would have said so, but just like, you know, they probably do think it's real, but at the same time, they have to just trivialize it because they're not happy. So any little thing, just like,
APC this,
I'm
APC
not having
that,
this.
You know.
And my concern is how quick the guys who came to assassinate, how quickly they were, you know, they were so quick to say who sent them. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah. And then they mentioned the opposition.
It should take a while. I mean, it should take a while.
They called out the opposition and like,
you know, PDP sent me. Just like, and you don't fear
and then
for your life.
tied them, they had to tie their clothes together.
Yeah.
Did they eventually hand them over to...
Yeah, they said they've been arrested. But I don't know. I really, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But I understand that we shouldn't trivialize it.
Thank God that he's safe. Thank God that we're not reading another story this morning.
But I thought it was also a reaction from Mr. Johnson, because the way they dragged that, you know...
Yeah, she hasn't said anything. Neither has he said anything. You know, both of them have not said anything, but it's just people and their comments. So we'll just wait to see if they will have anything to say about it. And then the second story here, still on Edo Guba, and they said 35,000 police officers were deployed to Edo State ahead of the election. And, you know, residents of Edo State have been reacting to it. And we have the video. Let's just watch the video.
All right.
Edo States ahead of the election. Do you think this action is important?
Well, I don't think it's very important. The action of deploying 35,000 policemen to Edo for election it not be tackled. 35,000 police to intimidate who? Defenseless civilians.
Do you think Edo people will come out to vote? And if they do, will their votes count?
I think the electoral process has discouraged a lot of them. The last election, the whole youth came out to vote. But only for them to be disappointed by the INEC.
All right, so basically he was saying that, you know, they took a lot of opinions, but this is the one I was able to get. He was saying that them deploying 35,000 police officers to, you know, secure the environment for a peaceful election is not necessary. It doesn't make any sense. That's what a lot, even the comments too, I think we'll take a look at the comments. So they're saying that it's not necessary because we have other insecurity issues going on. If we had that number of officers, why are we not sending them to Sambisa Forest? Why are we not sending them to...
It's like Edo is on lockdown. You know, that's how it feels.
That amount of officers, are they really trying to make the place secure enough for people to cast their votes, or are they trying to intimidate?
That's the question.
You know, but let's take a look at the comments here. And this one here says, facts, INEC disappointed us. And the next comment here says, I'm hungry, they catch these people low. The next comment here says, same police they couldn't deploy to Edo State when insecurity was high till the state generated their security system. APC value election pass who they want rule. Obaseki no grief for them. The next here says Sambisa needs these policemen to fight Boko Haram, but Tinubu get evil plan for Edo State. And this one here says, I applaud you, sir. You said nothing but facts. The next comment here says, facts. INEC disappointed us. The next comment here says, spot on. In their usual manners, the 3,000 isn't to protect, because the 35,000 isn't to protect the people, but to intimidate them. What do you people think about this?
See, when it comes to security issues, I think they might have had an intelligence report that there will be some sort of violence. So to me, it's a good thing in some sort of way, even though one would think that why doesn't Imo, have something like this? Because you see Okigwe, for instance, and other part of Imo where elections are not holding, and we have. Maybe it's supposed to be a state affair, if I want to put it that way, but I don't think it's a bad thing trying to secure the place. I don't see it as any kind of intimidation. I mean, so far, has there been some sort of attack from security personnel on the masses so far? So if that hasn't been the case, so I think it's a step in the right direction. So
you think it's a step in the right direction?
I think it's, for me, it's okay.
Natalie, what do you think?
I mean, it just depends on what they think would actually work for them. I mean, they need 35,000.
It's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot, but this is a Guba
election. If it's for peace,
yeah, but still, what it has now done, it has ended up intimidating the people. Some of them don't even want to come out to vote because they think that there's some kind of threat, that there's something that there's some intelligence that has been received that has made them, deploy all this. So it's counterproductive. But thank you so much, Divine, for that, your valued input on all of this on social media. We hope that every hour we'll continue to get more content like this. If, of course, we don't. Let's see how things go.
We'll just see how it goes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go on a quick break now. Don't forget, News Today will hold at 12 p.m. So you can catch up with that here on Apia TV. And right before that, we'll be taking some reactions from Udi local government areas. Apia TV is reporting from there. So please stay tuned to this channel and don't go anywhere. At 12, the news would begin immediately. I've been your host to go with, Natalie Uko, and Doris Mayim Shishe is still here and will still be here.
Oh, yes.
All right, bye for now.
Bye for
Stay
now.
tuned.